Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of Hollow Secrets, a cyberpunk red campaign that is not like anything you're probably gonna be used to at all. Because guess what? We're not in Night City, baby. We ain't even in a city. We in a town of 4,000 people on a good day. That's it. So this is gonna be very, very fun. But before that, let's do a little intro, get everybody kind of into the characters. So for those listening on the podcast, obviously this is going to be up on the Big Gay Dice Game podcast list, all part of 2000 Tales Roleplay. So if you want to come see it live, that's where that's at. And let's just get a little round the circle here on who all of our people are. Just let us know who you are and where people can find you. We'll intro your characters in a little bit. So I'm going to go just by view of my Zoom, which we'll start with Nikki.
Hello, I'm Nikki, aka Beholder to No One. You can find me at Beholder to No One for my podcast, which has way too many episodes, so you'll be entertained if you want to watch them, listen to them. You can also find me here on Tuesdays and Fridays with Masks and this now, right this second, for Monster of the Week normally. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Let's go down to Finn.
Hello, I'm Fettuccine Fen. I was about to go out who I am. I can't say that. You can find me on the internet at Fettuccine. I'm here on Fridays for the next few weeks while we're doing this lovely little thing. And then you can also find me I'm over on Twitter. Just go find me over there. That's the easiest thing, way to keep up with all this stuff. Short and sweet. Moving
on. Then let's go over to Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter at NerdOnWheels15, where I chat about disability, TTRPGs, and everything in between. You can also see what other shows I'm doing. Got some fun stuff coming up, so it'll be pretty cool.
And Blair.
Hi, I am Blair or _ Canadian Moose all over the place. I'm normally at High Shelf Collective a lot of the times. And if I'm not there, then I'm here. Or if I'm not here and there, then I'm at Lost Caravan. So yeah, that's all the places you can find me. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. That's it.
And then I'm Taylor or at _potato_ on the internet, and same as Blair. Over on High Shelf Collective is where I usually live. You can also find me on Lost Caravan a few times a month. They can't get rid of me. And then of course here on Big Gay Dice Game and Monster of the Week and whatever fun things I managed to convince Bobby to let me play. But with that, I'm going to be talking for a bit. So I want to give everyone a little preface here as we got some intros, because since we are doing a very different setting and it's very much in a different part of the world than most of Night City is, I want to give you a little primer for both the players and those listening and watching where the world is at this given point in time, and then our town of Pine Hollow, how it maybe came to be and what it is all about. So everybody, put on some nice like synthwave vibes, get into the cyberpunk mindset. We're gonna have a quick little history lesson as I get you in the mood for this entire campaign. So let me move this over here where I can read it better, because as we were talking about earlier, I'm blind. So during the 21st century, or 20th century, look, I'm already screwing up. During the 20th century, a series of ecological disasters took a huge toll on the infrastructure of the United States. We're talking global warming, melting much of the polar ice caps, resulting in high sea levels, drowning a big chunk of the South, the East Coast, and if not, turning it into swampland. Rising temperatures have thawed out southern Alaska and northern Canada and the upper US. We have sloppy population controls that have left permanent environmental scars on America. Massive acid rainstorm fronts battered the Midwest, poisoning drinking water and crops. Two entire regions of the eastern seaboard were reduced to waste as power companies abandoned nuclear reactors during the collapse. And just let their contents leak into the water table. Plus, as if that wasn't bad enough, there were rock strikes from lunar-based mass drivers in the orbit that blasted millions of tons of dust and heat into the atmosphere and further aggravated global warming. Times were tough, and because of that, wars broke out. Cyber wars, the four corporate wars, the crash in 94, the data crash. The world has seen its fair shares of tragedies and violence. What matters for this crew here, we are set in a kind of undisclosed location on the eastern part of the United States in the Appalachian Mountains. So we're going to talk about the United States itself, which is kind of in this, and this is a direct, oh, this is obviously info from the Cyberpunk Red book. So if you're ever interested, go grab that. But the United States was left in a state very much similar to the late 1800s with a civilized, actual quotes, on the East Coast, controlled by the federal government, centered in the Boston-Washington corridor, or referred to as Boswash, the Wild West and the independent territories east of the Mississippi River, and unincorporated West Coast from the Seattle area down to Mexico. These territories were pretty much on their own, hiring local militia, mercenary armies to kind of keep the peace. We are going to play in the year 2045, in the time of the Red, where the country has kind of started healing a bit from a lot of those ravages in the last tumultuous decade. But it should not be forgotten that most of America is still an armed society under a blanket of appalling poverty, violence, and inequity. Which brings us to Pine Hollow. Pine Hollow once was just a post office, a restaurant, a fishery, and a boating supply shop. There were several hunting cabins, small farms, vacation homes kind of dotted the surrounding Appalachian mountainside. Maybe, a small state park monitored by a group of park rangers, but overall very quiet, very remote, and virtually unheard of. It was just kind of one of those like blink and you miss it stops on the county road. That changed though as the world kind of went to shit and more people fled from the populated cities to the countryside to avoid violence. Word of mouth spread and friends of friends of friends and friends started to move the area, and it kind of began to build up a bit of a city infrastructure. City saw a small growth until after the Fourth Corporate War, when there was a little bit of a boom, because with a Militech facility operating over the mountain ridge nearby, the largest town that was kind of close to y'all, Wakefield, became the target and fell to bombing attacks. Surviving town folks either fled to larger megacities along the coast, or those in the know sought shelter in Pine Hollow. And then after the war itself, many veterans headed home to the mountains, bringing along, their friends or relatives there, because Pine Hollow is possibly the only thriving town left in America. They work hard to keep that secret because they have, thanks to their relation with like the mountains and where they sit on the water tables and just a lot of the ecological things around them, they still have a clean river that is drinkable thanks to some local techs that made that possible from the spring and the river there. Fish are plentiful, wild game is thriving, and the tall trees have protected the rich dirt below. And they work very hard to keep that secret to themselves, but inevitably word gets out. We have a roaming nomad pack that Blair was so nice enough to name a French name for me. So hold on while I get the pronunciation, because I don't know French. Vaudois? Yeah. There's a confused head shake, so I'm going to say I said it right.
I think so. We made that name like so long ago, and I also don't speak French, but I'm pretty sure that sounds right.
I think
that's why I wrote it phonetically, but I don't know if I did it right. Yeah, is it ois or ah? I think the EIS is like an ah, right, in French?
Vaudois, probably.
Vaudois?
I don't know.
Vaudois. Oh, that sounds better, even if that's not right. That sounds good. That sounds pretty. Or you gotta say the Vaudois. That's very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are one of the few trusted allies of the town. They're a Canadian air nomad group that bring much needed supplies to the city and also ship out some moonshine that the city is known for. And there's one particular nomad named Ella who decided to stay in the city, tired of the constant movement of her pack. And she took over an old boat shop in town and renovated it into this bar and mechanic shop, a favorite spot for the Vaudois that travel, and a favorite spot for a certain techie here in town, Ivy. So, Ivy, aka Nikki, you got a call from Ella a few minutes ago asking you to rush on over. You've been kind of helping her out with various projects in the dive, getting it kind of renovated. And you're about the only one that she'll kind of trust to help because there's not too many techies in this neck of the woods.
No, it's because I'm the best.
You're the
like
best.
her favorite. Like
for
her favorite.
sure. There is competition. You're just clearly the best.
No, just her favorite specifically. That's what
not
Ivy
even the
tells
best,
herself.
just the favorite.
Oh no, she doesn't think she's the best. She knows she's not the best, but she does hope that it's because Ivy that Ella likes her.
All right. Well, while we're on her hopes and dreams and feelings here, will you explain what Ivy looks like and maybe her general kind of personality and demeanor as she is walking her way up to the dive front door?
Sure. Ivy is probably like 5'3" not very tall, slim build, but muscular because she lifts a lot of heavy stuff. So she has very short brown hair, despite having obvious cybernetic eyes that look like galaxies and like lines on her face to show where the cyber eyes have been implanted. She still wears gold-rimmed glasses, a habit from her childhood before she got the cyber eyes. She also has one of the most common things that are seen on her is a necklace that no, I'm sorry, not a necklace. We switched that. She always has a bag with her wherever she goes, anywhere. Like it looks like a duffel bag or a mechanic's bag of sorts, but it's her dad's old toolbox. And the way she acts is anxious and jumpy and talks too much and fucks up a whole bunch.
So you are walking up to the dive, which for everyone listening, we did a wonderful, fun session of the quiet year and built out a lot of these things here. So I'm going to do my best to try and like remember to actually explain things to y'all because we all built this town together and know a lot of things. So the dive itself, like I said, very stereotypical dive bar, part mechanic shop, part bar. It used to be the old boating repair shop, but there is still a river, but there's no need for boats as it is still running a trickle compared to what it would have been in its heyday. But yeah, very typical dive bar. You've got kind of the booze ads all up on the wall, but in cyberpunk fashion, they're on kind of like data screens and neons that are flashing around. The paint, though, is still that very sun-washed, like chipped. You haven't hit the outside yet too terribly much. You kind of open this like squeaky door with like still the big bell that rings when you open it and like the
that's
creak
on my
of
list
the floorboards. Yeah, there's a lot of things still that you're like, gotta fix that. Oh, we need to put some paint on this. Like there's a to-do list because I mean, also then you go in and there's like a layer of dust on all of the decor on the walls that's just old items from the boating shop, you know, old steering wheels, old propellers, old buoys, old, you know, bumpers and nets and fishing materials and things all up on the wall. This place also still very like smelling very musty because it has been abandoned for, you know, 50 plus years before Ella kind of took it over. But you do hear as you come in, making a mental note of all the things that still need to be fixed, you know, we'll say it opens up into this little dive bar area. And then there's like a large double door that opens up to the mechanic shop off to the right. That maybe it was like an old storage shed that kind of y'all built an extra little wall to make it all one building. And you can hear like the banging of things kind of getting moved around and like the hushed kind of like, oh fuck shit, oh god damn, no fuck, like a struggle of something like not working right from Ella.
And she said it was an emergency.
Yeah, she was like, hurry.
Okay, so running in out of breath while also looking at all this. She's like, I'm here. What's wrong? Oh my God. What is wrong? What broke? Did it blow up? Did I hope it didn't blow up? No blowing up.
You look over and she's like frozen, standing up on like a old one of those big chest coolers, like standing up, like reaching up to this like monstrosity that y'all have been working on that is essentially like a boat propeller attached to the front of a swamp cooler that you were then trying to turn into an AC unit officially. It's a big hot mess.
I think you mean awesome.
It is. Currently, it's a hot mess because she, for some reason, thought she needed to touch it without you there. As you see Ella in like her usual attire with her like nomad leathers, got a t-shirt, probably like a vintage band t-shirt, very old and faded. And she's like always has like the little flannels and stuff around her waist or on her shoulder or wearing them. Currently, it's balled up in her hand as she's holding it up to this like pipe that you see multiple other spots of it are leaking of this old like liquid pipe, and it's just like drenching her, and probably antifreeze. Like it's probably not good of what's happening right now as coolant is just spilling everywhere. And she's like, oh my God, my sweet hero, please help, please help, please help. I have two hands and that is not enough. I don't know. God damn it. She like another one like pops and starts spraying water or coolant.
She'll shut it down. First step.
Like, oh, and it stops. She just puts her hands down.
And then like all the liquid just like kind of trickles out afterwards. Okay, fixed. That's fixed. That part's fixed. Awesome. I will. What happened? Did it do it on its own? Like it just started leaking?
You know, there's a reason that you are probably the tech and I shouldn't be messing with these sort of things, because I did not even think to turn it off. Not once did that cross my mind. I probably should have turned it off while I was filling it with the coolant, and I also probably should have checked this fluid pipe for holes before I did it. I did find this in the shed under the floorboard, so it's probably 60 years old.
Yeah, that's okay. It's fine. That's fine. I will fix everything. It'll be perfectly fine. Everything's gonna work great. It'll be wonderful. It's gonna be perfect. Probably. I will fix
it. Okay. Do you need me to do anything?
Maybe. She'll start like lifting and connecting things. If she needs help holding something, she'd ask, and pulls out her tech scanner and like uses that to, I mean, it's probably obvious that what's broken, but she'll pull out like her tech bag and tool and start like popping pieces back together. Sometimes she looks a little like she's like, wait a second, there's one, no, that one, not there. Okay, goes here. Okay, yeah, got it. But she like tries not to show that to Ella. Mm-mm. She's like, yeah, I knew that was right. And she will attempt to fix it.
Alrighty. Will you roll just a basic tech for me for this one?
Okay, I get +2.
Yeah.
I think it automatically odds it already.
I think it should. If it doesn't, we can throw it in, but I'm pretty sure it does. We got our first critical failure of the night.
Still everybody. 11 though.
Still 11 though, which honestly for this job we'll do it because the DV was only 10, because this is way, even with the amount of fucking with this that she has done, you're able to very quickly see where things went wrong. Clearly this part, get rid of that, move some stuff around. Kind of, you had, some sort of like, especially being you and your family and your father being the one that created the entire like water filtration system, and you're still over there like dealing with like water and liquid and pipes and basic kind of plumbing things, super freaking easy for you. You're just like, this is I can do with my eyes closed. So you're able to kind of switch some of those things around, still probably with some like, just because it was a critical failure, we'll say with a little bit of like bumbling, but that may be from like the anxiety of then having Ella like right there, just like ready to help. Watching
she is
and being in the
bright
area.
Red if she like leans in to go grab something, and she's like, oh, yep, right there. Hold that. Oh shit, fuck.
Okay. And just kind of like watches everything. And so then you kind of finish putting all together. She'll go and pour in more coolant. She's like, this better fucking work because I had to pay so much goddamn money to get this brought in. So do you want to do the honors? Do you want to turn it on?
Sure. Flip switch and like pray.
Yeah, flip switch and pray. And there's a very like before finally the boat engine whizzes up and you can feel with that like coolant coming into a little thing, plus just the general like swamp cooler like mechanics already in place. You kind of have this like nice humid breeze and air conditioning coming out, and immediately we'll say even like you have the boat propeller just kind of doing a little oscillating thing, so it's really pushing that air.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck,
I knew that would work. That was great. I totally knew that was gonna happen. She definitely did not flinch when it started.
Yeah, I mean, at the same, Ella did not notice because she's also sitting there kind of like leaning away just in case this thing goes flying off or something like sprays at her again.
Next time you need this coolant, just ask me. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. It'll be super great.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then everything's great.
All right. Fuck yeah. Thanks.
Never mind. I was just gonna ask a question, but it's fine.
Oh, ask a question.
Did you call me your hero earlier?
Do what?
Nothing.
No, you just mumbled. Like what was that?
I'm glad I could be your hero for helping save the thing. Okay, bye.
And you turn around and start walking up. She's like, the exact words were my sweet hero.
She turns even more red. Can I have a drink?
Yeah. Grab it yourself. And we will close there for a bit with a bright red Ivy drinking away her embarrassment for a second, and move our way to the outside area, kind of up in the so how the city is laid out. There's a river that runs down the middle of it, and on one side is a little bit flat. It's kind of the valley where we have some farms and the majority of the town, but then on the other side it kind of slopes up the mountain. And as is every good backcountry area, there's some feuding in its history. And a lot of that feuding just happens to be from the slope side and the valley side. And just, different families, different thought processes here. So we're going to go up on the slope side, where there have been rumors circulating of a ghost that is haunting Skeeter's guns and antiques. Old Skeeter swears that Mama Skeeter is haunting the place. And everyone is itching to try and see something spooky and been making their way into the shop. For everybody, Mama Skeeter has been dead for a little bit. She was a grumpy, crotchety old woman. Like, think your very typical redneck, hard as shit, doesn't put up with crap old lady and then make it mean. Like, maybe I used my aunt as inspiration for this character, but that's fine. So think of that. But then she had this little antique shop, and that was kind of her retirement project. Well, then when she died, old Skeeter, her son, had to take it over, and he was also a bit of a dabbler in gun dealing. So now it's one big one-stop shop. You need an antique doily and some AK rounds, you got it. It's all right there. So we find ourselves outside of there where everyone is itching to see something spooky, but old Skeeter has come up with a very serious no solicitor policy. So if you want a chance to see Mama Skeeter, you got to buy something. Now, if this is a marketing ploy, if this is actually Mama Skeeter's angry spirit floating around or something completely different, we don't know. But Dylan's there to find out what is going on. So Dylan, aka Mary, you are currently leaned up against a tree in the shadows on kind of the outer edge of this antique and gun shop. Will you explain to me what Dylan looks like and her general vibe and how she's kind of thinking about the situation?
Yeah, so Dylan kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. She's got purple hair with like lighter streaks at the front, kind of cut short. She doesn't have a ton of time for really doing much because honestly, she's usually running away from being chased out of somewhere. Dylan is a little bit of a secret hunter. She loves mysteries, and where there's a mystery, there's usually an answer to something. Uh, Curious to a fault probably describes her personality to a T. But she's kind of wearing these black pants that are like pretty tight. She's got this old band t-shirt. She was able to kind of like scrounge out of like whatever Ivy's last foray into the apocalypse zone, as she calls it. It's kind of ratty, but it fits her well. She's got like a long, like almost like a meshy arm sleeve underneath, and has a like septum piercing. She looks very like alternative in look, which doesn't really blend in well, but she's never been able to blend in really with everything that haunts her family. But she kind of is just kind of watching, intrigued by whatever Skeeter's trying to do this week. But if she has any way about it, she's gonna figure out what the hell he's trying to do, because there's no way this is legit. Like maybe it is, but come on, ghosts are usually supposed to be a little bit more like hidden than this. This seems like a ploy, and I'm gonna figure it out.
Muted. So you're sitting here kind of casing the area, looking at what else going on. You see there's a few cars in front, and even a few more people have come and like kind of walked in and out of the shop. The front looks very much like a pawn shop of sorts. You've got various like old antiques and guns kind of mixed all together on this like rickety old like window display behind like the barred windows. And you see that there's like a single like really crappy flickering light over the door. The sign, like the old the Skeeters, or what was it? Yeah, Skeeter. It said Mama Skeeters Antiques previously. The Mama has been painted over with a gun. So now it just says Skeeter's Antiques, which is clearly in a much older paint than the and guns that's added to the end of it. And you notice that, you know, while you're standing there looking, a few people have come out and they look rather disgruntled. One comes out with like a box of bullets, and another one comes out with like an old kerosene lamp. And who knows? Maybe they were like mad because they had to buy something to be there, or maybe he was just having to deal with old Skeeter that made them disgruntled, because honestly, he has that effect on literally everyone he talks to. So up in the air on that. But while you're kind of here, will you roll a perception check for me as you go about what you would like to do?
For sure. A lot. I got a 23.
Dang. Alrighty. So we'll kind of serve this is your general investigation. What is your plan of action here? Where are you wanting to go scope out some
Well,
answers?
first I'm probably watching people's reactions when they come out, and then I'm probably going to try and check out back, see if there's any extra like electrical cords or things plugged in, because you can really easily make some sort of like hologram or something, but that requires power. And if I can mess up some of that and see how that's working to prove to these people that Skeeter's up to no good again, then that's what I'm going to do. And my listeners love it, so might as well. It's worth a try.
All right, so yeah, you kind of stick to the tree line that's kind of been cut out around here, and you're starting to get to the back and looking around, and you definitely do see some electronics and stuff coming in. Now, it's not anything super substantial, but they are new, so it seems I would say, with probably research you've done before kind of going into this, like it does not seem to be the level that would make some sort of hologram or things like that. It's more, it seems like there's a pretty substantial security system that has been recently put in, as there's just like a lot of lines, and then you see there are a couple of cameras on the back door. You now kind of look and notice one that's at the front by the crappy light. You also notice one on a storage shed that's about 10-15 feet out the back door.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't think Skeeter owned anything that he'd really need to keep security over. Like it's usually just a bunch of shit. So I kind of want to check that out. I'm gonna like try and see what like span the camera would have and avoid it or get under it, so I
Okay.
can kind of figure my way into there. And
Yeah, we roll a stealth for me.
okay. 17.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to kind of tell. I mean, one, just being a media in general and understanding the different techie things and that sort of stuff, you've kind of got the idea. And you're kind of making a big circle that you feel pretty fine that you're not in the line of sight. You kind of like work your way further around the back, where the back of the building itself just has like the one door that seems to come out the back, and there's like a little dumpster there. The driveway kind of goes a little bit further around so people can go. It's like probably you see old Skeeter's truck like pulled up next to it. It's like this old beat up Ford. And when I'm talking old beat up Ford, I mean old and beat up Ford by our real life standards. So by 2045, it's like, how is this thing even possibly running anymore? Um, and you're able to kind of sneak behind it and get a little bit closer to the shed. You do a little bit of a round around it. You don't see that there's any sort of cameras or anything on the back, though. It does clearly have like a light on the front and the back, just kind of that at nighttime will illuminate the area. Granted, it is very shadowed right now. It is a little darker because you are on this kind of mountainous side, so you're in between all the trees. But you see that it is a woodshed, no doors or windows except for the door on the very front. That first thing you notice with that insane perception check, there's no doorknob on this door. And the wood definitely looks hardy. Like it doesn't look like an old shed like it's supposed to look like now that you're up close to it and you kind of touch it, and it is very clearly like some sort of like rock or metal or something that has made you look like old wood. On the front of the door, there is like a little like moon cut out, kind of like an outhouse would have, though clearly it's much shorter than like an outhouse would actually be, but it has that look to it, though it seems like there is some sort of like, we'll say like tin foil on the backside, so you can't see through this like cutout glass that is the little moon shape.
Okay. So I guess like if it's not in camera view very much, I'm gonna try and like, because I probably have one of those like I probably have some sort of MacGyver device where I can like stick things through like a small camera through like a hole to try and see what's really in there.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and chew. I think lock picks a little different. It's a little more techniquey, but maybe it's just along the same realm here, as you're kind of trying to like find your way in with this,
Okay.
or pick lock or
Yeah, pick lock will be that.
20 plus 5.
goodness, you were built for this. So you start trying to kind of like put this little camera and get through this area. You first try on like the door, because you can see the cutout of the door, though clearly no thing, but there is like no real purchase that you can get through. Like it doesn't move. You can barely get a fingernail in there. It doesn't like budge. So then you like kind of look at this window and you're kind of trying. You can see that it seems like there is a kind of seam where it has that glass. Seems like there's a seam all the way around the edge. So you're like, okay, let me try to get in there and kind of like pop that out maybe, or get through. Hold on one sec. Let me get my dog to stop barking. sorry, there's like a neighbor dog that I guess their owner's been gone all day and it has been yipping nonstop, and my
Oh,
dog
no.
hates it. He's like, what? Why is he barking? I'm like, I don't know, man. But and as you are doing it, you're starting to get your camera kind of through, and you can see that it almost kind of like pokes through this little bit of glass there when you hear the door behind you on the gun and antique shop, Antique and Guns, start to open.
I'm gonna remember where it is so I can hopefully come back later and try and get my tools and get the fuck out as quickly as possible. I don't want to be shot out today. Just don't have it in me. It's happened before. Sure, it'll happen again. Rather not.
All right, will you roll one more stealth for me as you're quickly trying to kind of grab all of this and get out without being seen? Which thankfully there is the truck kind of between you and the door, so it's giving you a little bit of a buffer.
13.
Okay, so you pull your cord out and everything, and you start to run, and we'll say just with that 13, it was a little harder to kind of get going. It's got a little bit of a catch, and you're like shit, and you're able to finally pull it, and you are able to slide your way under the truck. You can't even get like out as you now hear two voices. So you slide under the truck. It's like muddy, mossy. There's a little bit of a crinkle from the leaves, but you get real still, and you can hear like Skeeter Jr. pipe up, and he's like, damn it, I bet those raccoons are back again. Oh well, anyway, we'll deal with that later. Anyway, come on. And you watch as two sets of footsteps come at, or foot feet. You can see them when you're hiding under the truck. You can hear the door shut to the antique shop, and you watch as Skeeter Jr., now that you can kind of get a little bit of a view, stops at the end of the truck, and he's like, all right, here's the key. Just make sure you give it to me or Pops when you're done. And you hear a voice that's like, yeah, man, totally. You recognize immediately this voice, as then you see him walking, Theo Rock, who is your best friend Joe's uncle. As he walks, I feel like Theo's probably wearing like one of those like oversized, like really comfy woven hoodies and like cargo pants and like flip-flops. You know, it's got the like real grungy, like red hair is all mixed up. Like, it is as easy it is to figure out who you are and spot you every crowd. It's as easy to spot him, just a different brand, you know? And you watch as Skeeter Jr. walks back into the shop, shuts the door, and Theo walks up to this door, and you see him in his hand. He has this little moon-shaped disc that he puts into that hole, turns it a little bit, and the door pushes in. He takes key out, walks in, shuts the door behind him.
I'm recording all of this. Like, just straight up recording all of this.
Absolutely. You recording all this, it's quiet. You kind of wait for a second because it's like a 6 foot by 4 foot shed, not very big. You hear no noise. You sit there for probably 5-10 minutes, just kind of like waiting. He doesn't come out. It's starting to get a little late. You know, head out. Don't ever see him leave. And with that, let's switch over to the Rock family and see if they're missing their dear uncle, as we go to a casual sit-down dining, fast casual dining restaurant called the Rock House that's along the river. It's a very quiet place. It has been a staple of Pine Hollow for longer than most people can remember, like know of. Now, when it started, it was just kind of this crappy restaurant, but thankfully, Joe, aka Blair's Aunt Candace, came in and bought it and made it the Rock House, and it was the place to be, the stop, the restaurant of the town. Unfortunately, though, since she passed away about 10 years ago, it has fallen back into maybe there's a couple of people there every day because unfortunately her brother is just not the cook that she was. But, you know, you still have some people coming in every once in a while. Granted, they're the old biddies that run the Chamber of Commerce, but they buy catfish. And that's what matters, really, if we're going to be honest, is some stock is getting circulated here. And tonight, the restaurant is filled with senior citizens, but not particularly the old biddies of the Chamber of Commerce, as most of them are duds. But Granny Gwen is running her bingo night. And for everyone that's just listening, bingo night is in quotes because it seems like a lot more than bingo happens at these events. Granny Gwen, for the uninitiated, is the matron of the Rock family. She is this tough, no nonsense old lady that has been here before even a town existed. Her father bought a plot of land here. You know, she is stuck it out. She is a mountain woman at heart and really is probably more a matron, like the matron of the city than even just this town of her top. Like we could equate it to a mob boss if she cared enough to like activate people in that way, you know. Like thankfully she doesn't give a shit about a lot of things. So but tonight we start in the Rock house behind a locked door in the kitchen with Joe. You're standing there watching your father Bob pace back and forth in the kitchen. It's about 7 p.m. It should be the dinner rush, again, quotes, because is there ever a rush? But it is cleaned up. It is ready for the next day. Not a single thing is being cooked as he is just annoyed and pacing and mumbling under his breath. Will you explain to everybody what Joe looks like, Blair, and maybe what her general personality is, but especially in this moment?
So yeah, Joe, or her actual name Joelle, but she never goes by Joelle. It's always Joe Rock. She looks her style's a little out of place for this like fish shop. She has like a big like kind of Carharty jacket with like some looks like sheep wool on the collar and stuff. She has a plaid shirt kind of like buttoned all the way up with like a little, not a bolo tie, but like a little bit more simple than that, and has these big like red circle glasses. Her hair is not a natural color red, a little bit more like a candy apple kind of red. And it's kind of that short with long pieces in the front. She looks pretty hip. Kind of like that country mountain hip, if you will. And along with that, she's wearing a folded over apron just kind of around her waist, and she's standing there, arms folded, looking at her dad, just with a, well, would you like me to get you a glass of water?
I don't know. Can we even afford to pay the water bill at this point? I mean, we are losing out on a whole night of serving customers and making money and doing all these things. And, you know, your grandmother doesn't give a shit about this restaurant, about me, about the family making any fucking money, it seems like. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I am getting heated. Freaking money. Oh.
I think Joe like leans and looks out the front door and goes, well, Pa, I hate to tell you, but I don't think there's really a line waiting outside.
That's besides the point. I mean, at least what we're usually making a night justifies turning the lights on. Oh, Lord.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Grammy's friends will buy something. You never know.
She told us to close the kitchen. They ain't buying shit.
They might buy soda.
I saw Sister Patron walk in here with a lunchbox.
Don't take it too hard.
Maggie dropped off 4 bottles of moonshine and a platter of food.
Maybe people have dietary restrictions.
I don't know where you got this positive outlook. I know you got it from your damn mother, but I love it to death. Anyway.
I mean, if I'm stuck here, I might as well try to go peddle something. Do you want me to attempt to get them to buy something?
That would be nice, but, and he walks over to the door and jiggles the doorknob. She locked us out.
Joe just laughs. Joe just laughs. Very, very Grammy Gwen.
She acts like she owns this damn place. Candace left it to me. She didn't say nothing about Grammy having it. In fact, she specifically said, don't let Grammy have it.
That's true. It would be a bingo hall if it wasn't for you taking it.
God, her and her bingo. You know how long it's gonna take me to get the cigar smoke smell out of that fucking lobby? Freaking lobby.
Oh, right. We probably have a few days for it to,
Okay, Miss Ma'am. As that's happening, you hear a shatter from the dining room area as something breaks. And it's like, oh, I swear to God, that better not be in one of our cups because we are running dangerously low on actual glass. Oh, what am I?
Did you give Grammy a list of rules?
She should know. This ain't her house, after all. You show a little bit of respect, especially to something that your son and granddaughter put so much life and work and energy into. Not to mention your brother, not to mention your mother. Not really Theo. He's kind of, who knows where he is, but you hear the door unlock, like a key actively unlock. And you see Grammy Gwen stick her head in this like big kind of like bun of white hair kind of coming in first. And then she sticks it. She's like, Bob, I'm gonna need you to just go. You could just go home. Your stomping is really starting to fucking annoy me, if we're gonna be honest. And actively my friends can hear your bitching. So you could just leave. He's just like, fine, mother, I guess I'll just leave and go sit at home in the dark because I've made no money today, so I can't run the fucking electricity. Freaking electricity. God damn it. And he'll like start to walk off.
Grammy, question.
Yeah, sweetie.
Do I have to stay or can I leave too?
Actually, would you mind grabbing the mop and coming and helping? We had a little bit of a mishap.
Sure.
Thank you, sweetie. That's why you're my favorite.
Sure, I am. I mean,
Today.
yeah. She'll turn around and look at her dad and be like, you could get a mop and you could clean that up if you want, if you absolutely want to stay. We could switch spots.
He flips you off and walks out the door.
She'll just kind of like brush off of the little apron and grab the mop and walk out there.
Yeah, so you walk in to the lobby here. That what is, since this is your family's restaurant, what is the vibe like? What does the lobby, the seating area and everything look like?
I think it gives off the vibe that it once had a theme and now it doesn't. So like it was probably pretty like nautical feeling like back when it was first opened and stuff like that, but now like there's it probably hasn't been painted in a while. Some of the decor has probably been stolen. The is that, it's not ceramic, whatever those like old diner like tables are made of, there's probably like permanent like juice stains like on them and stuff. It needs renovating. And
are some of them still those tables that have like the epoxy coating over like advertisements and like business cards?
Yes, 100%. Maybe that's why nobody shows up. But yeah, it definitely gives off like, please fix me up, yet nobody is. And I think, yeah, it's a lot of like the whole outside is like booths just surrounding the whole thing. There's like the counter with like maybe a few like bar stool chairs there, and then there's just kind of like individual tables. So it would seat a decent number of people if it needed to.
So you see that, by no means is the place packed, but quite a few of the tables have been pushed together to kind of make one long kind of banquet table in the middle of it. And sure enough, you do see like one of the cages for like the bingo, you grab the different numbers and stuff out of it. I don't know what those are called. They probably has a name.
Well, like ball roller thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but one of those. And you do see a couple members of the chamber here. Well, we'll say one member of the chamber here, which is very clearly the oldest individual. His name is Jerry. He's just the oldest person probably in town. I think he's like nearly 90. But you see that there's Patricia, the local farmer. So it's not all seniors. We got some age variation in here. A few faces that the names kind of escape you. You see Sister Patron, of course, looking just as grizzled as ever. And you kind of make your way in with the mop and the bucket. And for the most part, everyone kind of like ignores your presence. They give like a little like smile, but then look over. We'll say that one of the people that you don't recognize the name is like B32. B32. You mark it down. Don't you forget it. All right, B32. Like very slowly sets it down and very slowly kind of starts cranking it in. It's like, oh God. And you, like I said, see that Maggie has very clearly catered this, as there are multiple bottles of moonshine that line the table, and then like a big kind of casserole dish that's filled with probably what used to be like some fajita makings and stuff that have been definitely like picked over. You see that there's a pile of dishes over in the little caddy. And now your grandmother kind of points over to the end of the table where Jerry is sitting, where very clearly he has dropped and shattered a glass that was probably full of moonshine, as there's quite the spill. And you go over and kind of start clean up, and he just kind of like looks over. He smiles real big, like very clear, like very toothy smile. Very clearly not his teeth, they're like dentured galore. This is just super wrinkly. He's got these glasses that make his eyes just like bug-eyed, just like as big as the frames because they're just so freaking thick. He's got on like, probably the same jean jacket he's worn for 40 years and the same like Carhartt work pants and the boots. And he's just, I'm so sorry, darling. Sometimes I just get the shakes and things slip on out. I apologize.
Well, that's all right, Jerry. Don't worry about it. How are you tonight?
I'd be doing better if your grandma over there wasn't kicking my ass at bingo. You know how much money I've lost tonight? Because I don't remember. But it's a lot.
How does she kick? It's a game of chance.
I don't know, man. All these assholes cheat at some point in time, and I think this is just her night to do it. It's fine. I'll do it in a few weeks and make my money back.
Maybe y'all should switch to like cards or bunco or something like that. Maybe you'd have better
about
luck.
tradition,
Ah,
we do use the same bingo cards over and over, so I think people maybe just kind of know the better odds too. Anyway, let me scoot over, and he just like barely moves like 4 inches, but puts a lot of work into it. All right.
Do you want me to get you another drink?
Oh no, sweetie, you're fine. I think that was a sign I'm done drinking.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Let me know. Let me know if you see Grammy cheating again. I'll give her a stern talking to.
I'd love to see it. And you kind of just sweep it up and kind of mop up the mess. Very easy. Is like this just very laborious bingo numbers like game is being had. And you kind of like grab your mop and your bucket and start to walk off. And Grammy Gwen calls after you. Is like, thank you so much, darling. I do appreciate you. Now you go on and you are too young to be stuck here this late at work.
Are you sure you don't need me? You are now, like, as she's saying that, she's like taking off her apron and stuff and like setting everything. Yeah, are you sure I can stay a little bit longer if you absolutely need me to
No,
do anything? All right, thank you,
y'all
Grammy.
good. We're gonna
Bye.
leave these dishes for Jet.
Good plan. Good plan. And she'll just like halfway through like the sentence, just like like take everything off, like throw, like not even like put up the mop or like
Mhm.
sweeper that she had, just kind of like throw it somewhere. And yeah, just kind of like grab her guitar and then like run out the back door. And yeah, is probably gonna, would she have known, like because she's probably looking for Dylan.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I will
I have
say,
a question.
you, yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if I knew when Joe went off work, I might have grabbed 2 branches to pose like creepy little arms outside of the door to scare the Jesus out of her.
I love it. So yeah, you just kind of real quick rush through the door, throw the mop and bucket to the side, grab your guitar, and as like you are kind of, the door is in the process of shutting, you grabbed your guitar and you're starting to work like run off. You do hear your grandmother speak up, and she's like, all right, now back to business. As you then hear the door shut behind you and you can't hear anything anymore as the door is shut and relocked behind you. But you don't have too long to think about it as you open the door and see this little creature thing that Dylan has like put together out the back door.
it was probably a mixture of like as hearing that being like, oh wait, what was that? And then but then like still momentum like going out the back
Mhm.
door, and then turns around, sees creepy hands, and just does like a oh shit, like like
Ah!
oh heck.
It worked. It worked this time, didn't it? It worked.
Dylan, what the hell?
Oh, come on. It's funny. It's funny. Okay, what else happens in this town? Like, come on.
Okay, I don't know, but Grammy Gwen, I swear to God, this ain't bingo that they're playing. I just heard something. She waits until Dad and I leave, and then she has some kind of meeting with some of the townsfolk. I need you here. You have the best sleuthing skills. I need you here to figure out what kind of stuff that is next. Well, I don't know when they have their meetings because it's not like every week, but whenever the next one is, I'll have to like call for you to come so you can help me
It's in
figure
like
it out.
13 days.
You know when the
Early,
next one is?
Is that a question?
I live with her, and well, I don't live with her, but I'm around her all the time, and I don't even know when the next one is.
I mean, okay, the scheduled one is in 13 days. They do this a lot. Okay, it's fine. Come on. And I'm gonna explain like what I know at least about a little bit of these meetings as we go to Maggie's, hopefully.
All right. Well, as y'all walk off to Maggie's, we our little camera, as you know, every TTRPG is actually just a movie in the making. Pans around the building and down the street, a block or so, as the sun has now kind of like fully set. We'll say we're in like late winter, about to be spring. You know, it's still a little chilly at night. You still have like that post-winter haze, but like things are starting to come alive again. So we've got a little bit later of the sunset, but not quite yet. As we zoom in to a doctor office. So this is the office of Dr. Chop, who is a very talented one-stop shop medic. I am talking general practitioner. You know, all you probably got your booster shots from them and your yearly checkup. We've got a psychologist. Anyone who ever needs some talking to goes to Dr. Chop. We got Ripper Doc, really, if you need to throw some like chrome in there. He knows how to do it. He is a fourth corporate war vet. I mixed up the order of those words. And in a pinch, he's even a veterinarian. So really, he can do it all. His office is very small, like quaint, clean building. He works by himself and is like extremely meticulously organized. So it's very much to his liking, very clean, very minimalist, just what he needs. And Chris, aka Finn, you are there. You see that, like I said, it's getting a little late. The sun's starting to set. You're very clearly his last appointment of the day. As you can even kind of catch him every once in a while, kind of like checking the clock just to make sure like times and everything. And you might be a little ready for closing time, but still very, very focused in on you. Will you explain to everybody what Chris looks like, what his general personality and vibe is in this moment?
Chris is wearing a light gray suit with, I think, a bright blue button down, and then in the same kind of shade of gray, but probably maybe a different material, maybe the same material. It's hard to tell. Light gray tie. Clearly an executive who is sitting in one of, I think, probably at least, I would like to believe that Dr. Chop has one leather armchair. Tall, but not extremely so. A kind of muted orange hair, clean shaven, and is currently, I think, just leaning up and staring at the ceiling as Dr. Chop, I think, is waiting for this individual to answer a question.
Yeah. You see Dr. Chop is sat in a like very overstuffed, comfy chair. You kind of look around, and this room, it's a couple of rooms, but for the most part, this building is very much sectioned off into what is needing to be done to a certain individual. So we have like, you've got the one room that has like the little table with like the white piece of paper that you put on it, that, you set the little kid up and you check his temperature, like general practitioner room, veterinarian area in the back with some kennels and everything. Then a little surgical suite, but you're sitting in what is probably his office, but then also has just like a little sitting area. And he's in this big comfy chair, and he's like laid back, very relaxed, has his like legs crossed and a little data pad in his hand. And he's just like, well, so how have renovations been going? I'm sure that your place needed a bit of work. I don't know if anyone lived there in a hot minute.
Chris will kind of blink twice and go, oh, it's been all right. It's not too bad. Renovations, they were rough at first, modernizing it a little bit, because the cabin had been used in a hot minute, but the local folks have all been extremely helpful. So
That's good. That's good. As Ivy stuck her nose in there to start messing with things, she likes to find new projects.
I think she keeps trying to find one, I think, every week. Yeah. She seems nice though.
That's good. That's good. You made any friends? Anyone in town you particularly enjoy talking to?
I think Ivy is attempting to become my friend.
Okay. Are you receptive to this?
I don't see why not. I mean, be nice to have friends.
Yeah, everyone needs someone to kind of pal around with, especially out here in the middle of fucking nowhere, Granted, I assume you're gonna hopefully bring some more entertainment to town if all goes according to plans.
Yeah, if everything goes well, which it so far has been, we should be getting a couple data pulls in. So
Fancy.
mhm.
Well, small talk aside, I'm glad you're settling in pretty all right. Let's get into some maybe more nitty gritty, little heavier topics here. In
Sure.
the last week since we saw each other last, have you had any particularly angry outbursts that may have been out of your control?
Chris will look up again at the ceiling, kind of resting his head on the back of the armchair. A solid 3 minutes pass, I think, before he answers. Then he just goes, I put a gun on somebody 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, 2 nights ago. One of the two? Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming because no one came in here, the trigger was not pulled.
Oh no, I mean, there was no need to actually shoot him. Just I don't know. It just wasn't something that made like if someone was talking ill of somebody, would you not also do the same thing? Or is this
You
this
know,
might be why I'm here, huh?
it's a bit of why you're here. And
Okay.
I've been in your seat before and did the gun pulling. Um, maybe pull out your words first before the pistol, you know?
Well, maybe they shouldn't have talked that much shit.
It
I
was a
wouldn't have
skeeter,
had.
wasn't it?
I think so. I think it was one of the old ones.
Yeah, all right. I mean, understandable. I have nearly pulled a gun on each of them many times, but I think if you can master not pulling a gun on a skeeter, you can master not pulling a gun on anybody. That's really the biggest test of patience. Um, so
Okay,
you were
okay.
saying though that he was talking shit, and
Yeah, that is
okay,
that is
and
what he
this
was
made
doing.
you feel angry enough. What was the shit talking towards? Was it you, someone else?
I can't remember. I honestly have no idea. It was something that just flash boiled, and then must not have been that important because I did also follow a butterfly for another 20 minutes after that. That's kind of
Oh,
what preceded
okay,
this.
okay. Well, I would like if something like this maybe happens again in the next week, if you are able to, maybe make a little note,
Sure.
a little
Well,
note. It'd be good to look back for yourself, but also could maybe help
okay.
me guide you in these situations.
Sure.
Have you been doing the breathing exercises I gave you to kind of
I
help
did. I
with?
did. That's how I didn't pull the trigger on this old skeeter. I was like, I took a deep breath and I was like, this isn't worth it. The butterfly is more important.
Oh, I love it. That is a big step. You should be very, very, very proud of that. Um, I
Okay.
guess just to, you seem to be progressing very well. Has work been putting you under any sort of stress since you've been here, or if things kind of leveling out for you?
It's not been too difficult, though. I think a lot of the legwork was done prior to my arrival.
Mm,
Between myself and Bonita helping out with a lot of the legwork,
mm.
it's been smooth and not super stressful. I think that was kind of the idea, though. I think. So yeah, maybe. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I will say, your company has been very involved in your wellness and making sure that everything is to your liking, and that you're um, adjusting well in many ways. Um,
Yeah.
with that, how has your sleep been? Have you been dealing with any vivid dreams, paralysis, any of the things that are common in cases such as yours?
Another like 5 minutes pass as the brain processes. And Chris kind of stares at the table that is in the office and then goes, I think it's been a couple days since I slept.
Mm, okay. Um, well, honestly, this is an oversight by me. I should have put that in your wellness plan. I am going to go ahead and officially write down that you should be getting 6 to 8 hours a night. Obviously fewer to start if that's more bearable for you, but that's going to be our goal. Okay. Okay.
I think I could do 6 to 8 hours. I get to working on some things, and then butterflies come by, or we have other things that happen. It's just, it gets busy, and then I forget to sleep. It'll be all right.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll add some extra prescriptions on here. Even just some melatonin, I think, could be helpful. CBD
Okay.
is great sleep aid. That's my particular favorite.
Whatever you think would be helpful if this sleep stuff is an issue. Those aren't really dreams, though. That's just, never mind.
Were there dreams previous to your stint of not
Uh,
sleeping?
Not dreams. There's been like 3 minutes. It wasn't really like dreams. I'm both here and then I'm like elsewhere sometimes.
Okay. Have you been staying consistent with your beta blockers and other anxiety medication?
I have. The immunosuppressants and the beta blockers and anxiety pills, I take them twice a day, right? Was that it? Or is it once a day?
Some twice or once. You know what? To make it easier, I'll just go ahead and get you new prescriptions to get the milligram dosage right, so you can just do it once a day for everything. I feel like that would be helpful.
Okay, because I set an alarm on my agent twice a day, and then I take them when my agent goes off.
Okay, that's great. That's honestly a very responsible move. I'm going to go ahead and I'll update the wellness plan, just kind of to remind you some sleep. Water. Have you been drinking plenty of water? I know that's probably a very kind of new thing coming from the city, but
I mean, we've had access to water, but we also are kind of on the nicer side of a lot of things.
True.
So yeah, I've been drinking a lot of things. Water is part of it, yeah.
Okay. I have no problem with that. That's fine. Whatever gives you a little bit of relaxation. So I'll go ahead and update, like I said, your wellness plan chart, make sure we get those medications up to date. I'll send a little reminder of all of this over to you said Bonita as well.
Yeah,
just
Bonita.
To help keep an eye on things.
Yeah, that's I think the whole reason she's here is to just keep an eye on everything and making sure it goes smoothly. I think it's also my job. I think my job is to do that, and her job is to do the paperwork. I don't really have a lot of like paperwork.
Yeah.
Where's the other way around? I'll have to ask her.
I'll let you deal with that because I am not privy to the inner workings of your organization, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's fine. Not really huge.
Chris, do you have any other questions or concerns or things that you would like to talk about and cover before we split today?
If the butterfly speaks, should you listen to it?
I have had a lot of woodland creatures say some very interesting things to me in my day, so I would advise not.
Advise not. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so any woodland creature you should ignore.
I did once have a squirrel that was trying to get me to commit many murders. I'm thankfully said no to it. So
good. That sounds like it was a positive thing then.
Exactly. So, though, just for your continued wellness and maybe my curiosity,
sure,
maybe write down what the butterfly says.
Okay, I'll write it down along with what if I write down what angers me, write down what the butterfly says.
Exactly.
If any other woodlands creatures to talk to me, should I do that? Do you also want me to write down what the voices say?
Yeah, that would be nice as well. And maybe note when how you're feeling about it too. For the voices, the random voices usually respond to some sort of, or are spurred on by some sort of feelings.
Okay.
Sometimes, at least in my case,
Okay.
they were.
Okay. Then I will note down attached feelings to the voices.
Wonderful. Well,
Cool.
I have sent all this information over to your agent, over to Bonita. Put in the prescriptions down at the pharmacy, Dollar General, one-stop shop around here. It's really handy. So if you just want to deal with that, and we'll cover any of this come same time, same place next week.
That sounds reasonable. Was that? Yeah.
Well, Chris, as always, it was an absolute pleasure. You try to go enjoy the rest of your evening, okay?
Where do I do that?
Maggie's. Maggie seems to be the hot spot for people your age.
Maggie's. That's is that the bingo place? No. That's not the bingo place.
That's roving, I think. I've only gotten an invite once, unfortunately. If you, and he'll just kind of point, go down this way, take a little left, cross the bridge. It's that big building with all the neon lights right by the river.
That way, left. Bridge.
Yep.
Neon lights by the river.
By the river, correct. You should not have to get in the river. If you've done that, you have gone too far.
If you go in the river, you've gone too far. Got it.
Wonderful. Well, you have a great rest of your evening. He'll kind of stand up and walk out with you and locks the door behind you. Would you like to roll, Finn? 4d6 to get some humanity back. My empathy empathy 1 character.
I would love to roll 4d6. Let's find out if the dice gods smile upon this endeavor.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It'll get you to 2 though, probably, right?
Yeah, because I'm at 18, so it'll get me to 28. I'm at 2 empathy.
Nice. Therapy's working.
Therapy's working. Look at that.
And therapy.
Can we make that a reality in real life where you go to therapy, roll a die, and it helps prove how much you did better?
That would be so great, it would be so much handier. But all right, you all walk off. And I guess before we kind of wrap, we'll kind of flash back over to Ivy. Over the next little bit, we'll say probably about an hour worth of time. Would you have hung out at the dive, or would you have gone somewhere else?
She probably would have hung out at the dive as long as she humanly possibly could, but probably had a meeting or another place to go to for work, and her data pad chimes 3 times. And she ignores the first 2 and then realizes, oh shit, it says if you do not leave now and run, you will be late. She's I gotta go, got a meeting. It's been lovely chatting with you, as always. We should do it again.
Of course. I was kind of thinking that we maybe get the gang back together, have some drinks tonight. I think Maggie's doing some sort of pool tournament or something. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun.
Sure. That'd be cool. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. So everybody though, right? The whole game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, most of the nomads are out of town. I think my sister's crew is coming back in the morning, so it'd probably just be you, me, Valerie, Larry.
Can maybe we invite one other person?
Sure.
Or 2 other people, 3 other. Out of character, is I supposed to invite everybody in this crew?
Oh, I know Dylan, and I think everybody is already kind of going there because Dylan and Joe were already headed that direction. Hopefully Chris wanders his way into the right place.
I just, the new, well, not new anymore, but Chris, the guy up on the hill in the old band place.
Yeah, he's wild. He was telling me about a butterfly the other day, and I also saw him pull a gun on old Skeeter and Skeeter Jr. at one point in time.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was great. They deserved it. But
I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna invite him, possibly, maybe he'll say no, maybe he'll say yes. I think he's warming up to me though. I think we're gonna be friends. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be friends with everybody
Friends
except for
with you.
Steve.
Yeah, I must be friends with him.
And maybe Valerie. I think Valerie still doesn't like me yet, and your sister doesn't like me, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Valerie does. She's just not gonna let anyone know she does. That's what it is.
That's okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, go. You're
My
gonna be
alarm
late.
goes off
Go.
again, and I'm like, shit.
She like shoves you out the door. But you run out the door to your next appointment to finish up your evening. And that is where we will wrap on this first part of Hollow Secrets, knowing our entire party to then meet up at Maggie's, have a drink, have a blast. And I'm sure nothing wrong is going to happen ever. This is just a sleepy little hamlet and it's great. But with that, like I said, we will call it to a close for part 1. For YouTube, we will be back after a quick break. I think 10 minutes is the usual break time.
Yep.
Be back.
Really good cliffhanger. Do we just want to do Disney trivia? Because this ain't happening.
How dare you? No, I want to play the game. I want to play the game.
Yes, we are
fast.
here. We got
We're
this.
here to
Let's
play a
go.
game.
You're a time-traveling corpse?
I apparently.
That is awesome.
Now this one wasn't me.
It's not our fault.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He is so excited and is bouncing so much. Like, there's so much excited bouncing.
Obviously, everyone's into anarchy.
Yeah, you cannot be.
He's so cool.
My world is crumbling around me.
Nice to meet you and explode with you.
I suppose that is nice, yes.
Might that have better.
Fuck you.
I knew we weren't gonna get off scot-free from murdering someone. Yeah.
Tear my seams apart for you. You tell me every little lie is true. Oh yeah. But I listen to the heartbeat on the floor. I feel loud every breath just like before. You can't take it anymore. Where you gotta go tonight? Why don't you wanna wait it out? I don't know what you're running for. All you wanna do is
When average teenager Arthur Padrone finds out he's the reincarnation of King Arthur of Camelot, he, Merlin, and Lancelot go on a road trip to find the other Knights of the Round Table before danger catches up to them in this comedy fiction podcast. Listen to Friday Night Fights wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, 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 hey.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Forgot I was supposed to look to see when our mics are hot. We're here. Did y'all hear me say we have good faces? Because we have good faces. Welcome back to Hollow Secrets, a Cyberpunk Red adventure here on 2000 Tales Roleplay and over on the Big Gay Dice Game podcast. Big Gay Dice Game podcast. Last we met everybody. That was really the thing. We were introduced to Ivy, our tech, as she helped repair a very jerry-rigged air conditioner thing in the Dive, which is a bar owned by a ex-nomad named Ella and maybe a crush of Ivy's. We met Dylan as she was doing some snooping on a possible ghost sighting at Skeeter's Antiques and Guns, but instead found a weird secret door that Joe, our rocker boy's uncle, went through and didn't emerge voluntarily. So weird. Joe learned about Grammy Gwen's bingo nights, air quotes around bingo nights, because bingo seemed to be the ruse, as there was some business to be had that poor Joe was not a part of. Neither was her father, who was not happy about it. And then we met Chris, our executive, as he went through therapy because for some reason, we thought it was a good idea to start the session with him having one empathy and in the process of gaining his second one back. As we learned about the butterflies that speak to him and the amount of times he has pulled a gun on old Skeeter.
It was only once this week.
Once this week. That's true. We don't know what happened in previous weeks. It was once this week. But we left everyone as they were going about their business with the goal of making it to Maggie's. Now, we all probably are coming in at different points because Ivy did have a job to get to, and Chris hopefully did not end up wading through the river to get there. So let's start with Joe and Dylan, who we know were making a concerted effort to go to that exact location. So we open at Maggie's, but let's be honest, she will kick your ass if you call it just Maggie's, because its full name, which is written in custom neon over the door, is Magnetic Maggie's Marvelous Mash Moonshine Distillery and Eatery. She better not catch you not saying the whole name. It is a popular location here in Pine Hollow. While filled with most of the younger crowd at night, anyone can be seen kind of popping in and out of her location throughout the week. The whole operation is ran by the marvelous Magnetic Maggie, or Maggie, she'll let you just call her Maggie, who is a 4th Corporate War veteran who got pretty chromed out in her time gone, and she returned home at a later age, bringing different friends that she had made during the war and her time out west, including Dr. Chop, as well as Ivy's father, Dusty, kind of brought in this family to the fold way back when. While being a very large and in charge personality, and technically one of the kind of founders of the area as it is in a modern sense, she prefers to keep her nose out of politics and focus on this moonshine business, be that because she can't be bothered by petty squabbles or because she kind of teeters on the edge of cyberpsychosis. Who knows? Dr. Chop knows, but he ain't telling anybody. So don't cause a ruckus, because she has a sweet spot for the young folk, like seeing you all having a good time, but has no tolerance for fighting in the bar, making most nights an enjoyable time, except for that one time that Earl Skeeter did try to start a fight. And well, no one really talks to Earl anymore after that situation. So inside the bar, we have a mismatch of metal sidings and industrial equipment that are kind of repurposed as bars and stools and decorations. Think this very much gives the vibe of like Moxie's in Borderlands, just this like really eclectic wasteland steampunky vibe with the neons and all the different things going on in the games. Loud music constantly playing. You've got, like I said, pool, darts, arcade style kind of different video games and stuff in the back corner. There's this long bar on the left side that seems to be formed from one solid tree trunk that is just floor to ceiling full of different liquor bottles, but half of that is specifically Maggie's moonshine of various varieties. I mean, she's got apple pie, she's got cherries, she's got just straight moonshine, she's got pickles, she's got about any flavor you can mash into a freaking moonshine. She's made it, and it is raring to go for your drinking pleasures. You see that the rest of the area is mostly tables and booths kind of filling every square inch. There is a upstairs that's partially off limits. A good section of it is Maggie's private quarters, but then there is a little like, what's it called? Loft style kind of overlook with a few tables and stuff. And usually if Maggie's not slinging drinks, that's where she prefers to hang out and kind of keep an eye and make sure no one's causing a ruckus. So, for Joe and Dylan, where do you go in Maggie's? Do you have a like go-to spot? Do y'all just kind of pick wherever? Kind of where do we find you here? And feel free to improv and make up something about the place as you wish.
Maybe like Dylan, if it's okay with you, maybe we sit at like the bar, but like the far end.
Yeah.
So there's like only a little bit of chance that somebody will sit close to us.
Yeah, it's I try to make it so at least Joe's closer to the outside, because like basically one of the ends of the bar is kind of like built into like the rocks almost a little bit. And so it's kind of like a little alcove that I can like set up my stuff in, and then I can at least hide away a little bit so I don't take as much shit. But you know, it still happens occasionally. But Maggie usually puts a stop to it pretty quick. But I kind of just go to the usual spot, and I'm probably just gonna go like hop over the bar, grab whatever we need, pour it, because I basically live a little bit ways away, but this is kind of my spot. I've been here for a long time, so Maggie kind of lets me do whatever I want anyway.
Grab the pickle one. Grab the pickle one.
I don't get how you like this. Like
it's good.
I grab it, and I grab my usual one and like a couple others and put it up there with like
little
glasses.
moonshine flight.
Yeah, basically moonshine flight. Grab the different bottles.
It pairs really well with the bar snacks Maggie has going on here. It's a little bit of like sour, and then she has some little candies, so it's a little bit sweet. And then there's some peanuts, so it's a little bit of salty. You know, you got all your different flavors there.
You can't pay me, Joe. I did it once. I will not do that again. Nope.
More for me.
I'm gonna go with like this like peach one that I kind of mix like with a bunch of others to make this like weird concoction of like tropical fruit, which like I read online about a drink in Night City, and I tried to make some sort of like bastardized version of it with what we got here.
Yes.
Dylan's a little bit obsessed with Night City.
I basically just have picklebacks. That's basically, it's close. Yeah. It's close.
Picklebacks, but again, it's all mixed in, easy peasy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have to do any extra steps.
Well, pickle moonshine, not bad. It is fine. I'm not a big fan of Bloody Marys, but I did have Bloody Mary once that was the pickle moonshine instead of vodka. I can get down on that. It made it so much better because I hate tomato juice, but like it cut out what I hate about tomato juice. So
need to try
anyone,
that.
Anyone who's interested, try it. So y'all are over in this area, kind of set up, making your drinks, and Maggie kind of waved at you as you came in, but she was serving some other people there at the bar. And after a bit, she comes over. She's got a glass in her hand and like kind of walks over, you know, like a little tap for some of the bigger things in moonshine. She's getting like a jalapeno, like some spicy thing. Like Maggie definitely is one of those people that if she wants to taste anything, it is like hotter than hell or spicy or like salty as shit. Like she's done so many things in her life. Her taste buds are shot, like she's just done. So she comes over, she has like the spicy salt rim on it, but then also puts another like actual like smoked jalapeno in it. Like it is just this probably too hot concoction here as she walks over to the other side of the bar from you guys, takes a little drink, and then leans on the bar and gets in real close. So, did I see a certain Dylan Gray sneaking past the building covered in mud from up the mountain?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know of
She turns
someone-
around a little like data pad and she like pulls out of her pocket with like security footage of you just like through like the street in front of the thing.
Ooh, you've been caught red-handed.
Look, Skeeter's pulling some bullshit, and I'm gonna call it out. It's my job.
I mean, I'm all about calling the Skeeters out on their bullshit, but you know they are not gonna stop and think before they shoot a gun at you to figure out who you are.
Yeah, I know. Been there, done that. It's fine. I'm just gonna take a drink. Look, okay, he's got a secret shed. Okay, secret shed. Someone entered, didn't come out. That has to lead underground somewhere, okay? I gotta figure out. I almost got in.
Maybe it's just a weird mine entrance. You know the mines are all over there, and you don't want to be in that shit anyway.
It was shady because okay, little like stupid Skeeter friggin' I'm gonna say your uncle, like he's with Skeeter doing something. They did like some stupid handshake, Joe, and he went downstairs into the thing, and it's a 6x4. There's not that far, but he never came out. I waited under a truck just to see.
You
My
were
uncle?
under his truck.
Yeah, where else am I gonna hide? I'm little. I fit.
Oh Lord.
Wait.
I don't want to know anymore in case he comes asking questions. And she walks off.
First, what? Second, you question my drink, but you don't question hers. That's a little sus, Dylan. Third, my uncle,
Yeah, cargo shorts.
Theo,
Yeah, Theo.
Stoner Theo, that doesn't do shit.
Yeah, he went down into the shed. They did a handshake. He used this half-limb key, and I'm gonna like pull out my different like camera audio footage and like show Joe what is he hiding down there?
Well, I will be honest, none of us know what he does actually during the day. He just kind of like goes off somewhere and then comes back, and we don't really question it. So, I mean, I guess since you have video evidence, it is plausible that he's doing some shit. But with the Skeeters, oh God. Oh, Grammy's gonna hate that.
And the Skeeters are trying to say that there's a ghost, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
So I tried to see how they were faking it, and that's how I figured it out. There's no windows. There's no other way to get in. The door doesn't open unless you have this. And I just kind of like draw out what the key looks like. It pushes into the door. The door imprints open. Like it's the biggest tech shit I've seen in this town, other than Maggie.
Huh. Wonder if they're starting to make their own moonshine.
Maggie will take
Competition.
them out. Like I don't want to tell her that. She will just go and take them out.
Yeah.
But if there's something else that they're doing, I want to know first. Come
Well,
on,
what-
it would be huge.
True, but what are we gonna do about it?
Well, first I need to figure out a way in. And that I need Ivy, because maybe Ivy can come up with like a mock way of making the key, and then I can get in there.
That's true. Ivy would be the person for that. Oh, but what are you gonna do? You said it was small. What are we gonna do when we get in there? Or you? Or no? I'll go with you. I can't let just you go in there.
You don't want to get in trouble though. Like everyone hates me.
Everybody does. I don't hate you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Everyone but Joe, Ivy, and I don't know about. I think Chris just hates everybody, but I'm not quite sure. But okay, and Maggie. All right, 3 people in this town do not like me, and that's it. Okay.
My
As you're saying that, you hear a voice behind you, and it's like, "That ain't true. You're fucking cool, Dylan." And like a little shove on your shoulder as you see Larry Fillenbury, the son of the farmer, and in turn a farmer. He kind of like walks over. He's got like 2 drinks in his hand, very clearly his, as he's sipping between both of them, like in an alternating flavor combination here. And yeah, he's got his like hair all pulled up, like his like long dreads are all pulled up in a little bun on the top of his head. And he's like, "You're great. You're so great. In fact, I would love to maybe employ you to film this pool competition because I'm fucking ready. Got these drinks, getting loosey goosey, got my like outfit on. You see he's in like joggers and things he can really move in. I'm ready to go."
That's right. Is the pool competition tonight? What a job. What a gig.
How much?
Well, it is the end of winter. We haven't
my
had
God.
a ton of crops, so maybe just like a little IOU. That would be fun, right? Right?
No, that's bullshit.
No.
What about a discount at the farmer's market when we open back up?
In months?
In writing.
Yeah, we write it down. It's it will probably like, hit. I don't know when seasons of things actually are, but I'm sure there's some end of winter crops, early spring, and he's like, "We're gonna hit it around like this time for like the few things,
Mm-hmm. Writing. I put the napkin forward.
I owe you, well, and then he crosses out you, Dylan, a 20% discount.
45.
Oh, 40.
25 sounds good. 25% discount at the first 2 visits of the farmer's market. And then it's 2 little like squares you can like check off if you visited. See?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tuck it into my bag. Be like,
have y'all seen Ivy?
I hope she's coming.
Haven't seen her yet.
She probably rushes in like 15 minutes later than she's supposed to be there, out of breath again.
As this is like all happen, like you come in and he turns around. Oh, there she is. And I'll just kind of like.
Sorry, I was I got distracted and was late, and then at a thing, and I had to finish the thing, and then the thing went fine. It went fine. Everything went great. What did I miss? What's happening?
Dylan thinks no one likes her, and I was trying to tell her that she's bee's knees.
I mean, I like you. You're cool.
Thanks.
See?
For what it's worth, I mean, I get along with almost everybody though, except for Skeeter. But nobody gets along with Skeeter. So.
Who wants to be Skeeter's friend? It's just everyone's reaction when you talk about Skeeter.
See, you're not not saying that you are hated, but you're definitely not as hated as the Skeeters.
That makes
Silver
me
lining.
feel so much better that I am less hated than the most hateful family in this forsaken town.
Well, I mean, there's other people that people don't like. Vincent, people fucking hate that guy.
Vincent sucks. I would say it's not that you're hated; it's that people think you're cursed or bad luck. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's a difference.
There's no such thing as curses. It's fine. It's that doesn't. It's like it's a superstition.
Larry kind of like wanders off to the pool table at that. He's like, okay.
Guys, guess what?
What?
Ella called me my sweet hero. That's what she called me. It was sweet. It was awesome.
Sweet hero? What'd you do?
I fixed the thing. The AC. She tried to put the coolant in and then it leaked everywhere and then she didn't think to turn it off and it kind of just made a huge mess, but I fixed it. I mean, it might have been my fault that it broke first time. That's not the point. That's not the point.
Did she know it
brought
was
you
your
back
fault?
to-
I mean, I built it,
Oh,
but it wasn't supposed to do that, but that's okay. I fixed it, right? And now I'm
No, that's
here.
good.
So it's good. It's
Look,
great.
always add a little flaw to it because then you come back and then you get more work. And I'm just gonna take a drink.
Oh, yeah, I told her to ask me to come back whenever like needs to replace coolant, which is like once a month, and I'm just gonna go back anyway and fix stuff anyway on my own, like once a week at least. So it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
y'all want a shot to celebrate?
I should stay sober probably.
Why?
Oh, and I'm just gonna take a drink.
Because I gotta work in the morning.
That's hours away.
I will remind you all too, it is a full moon tonight.
Fine.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Well,
Plus, somebody has to be sober when we go into the radio tower.
but one shot isn't gonna, mess that up.
You know I'm a lightweight.
Pickle.
That's the worst flavor.
Y'all suck. And she's gonna take it down.
She will commit to peer pressure though and have at least one shot, but not pickle flavor.
Shots. Oh, sorry, copyright.
She asked for the pecan pie flavor.
Oh, nice.
Yum. Yeah, absolutely. Maggie will go over a little thing, slide it over to you. I'm assuming I'm just putting this in all y'all's tabs still. Are you ever gonna pay that?
We have tabs?
Yeah, I'm keeping count.
Thought it was a family discount.
Well, yours is.
I thought it was a next to family discount.
Nah.
This is the only one I own. Oh, right. Because
actually, yeah.
Here. And I pay for mine.
Oh, thank you. You're my favorite of our friends. All right.
Yeah, my favorite.
What if I say
I like you're well, still my favorite. Joe, you're my second favorite because you're the only one that drinks the pickle one. Well, not the only one, but the most of it. You drink the most of it,
What if I say Grammy will handle it?
You gonna talk to Grammy about handling? I sure as hell ain't.
She said that I was her favorite tonight. So
oh well, then you don't need my love and adoration. You already got Grammys. She'll turn around and walk off again.
I never get the discounts anywhere.
And then Chris, have you wandered in yet, or where are you currently?
I think Chris wanders in at this point. I think Chris is accompanied by a slightly older than him, still kind of on the younger end of things, woman who has jet black hair, who he hands back a data pad, and she goes, "Try not to get lost this time," and then leaves. And Chris will kind of look around, notice Ivy, look around some more, sees nobody else that he recognizes off top of the head, and just kind of make his way over to the bar and go, "I was told this is the place to do things."
Chris, you're here. Awesome. I invited you here like 40 times and now you're finally here. This is awesome.
You've seen that 40 times?
I don't know. I over exaggerate sometimes the numbers that I stop counting after like 3.
Okay, but it's an important distinction. How many times have
I been to your house? 5, 6 times? I've asked 6 times.
Okay, then 6. I guess maybe that's just a part of memory I don't remember. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I mean, you're here now. So this is Dylan, Dylan Gray, and this is Joe Rock. The guys is Chris.
Hello, pleasure to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, new guy.
Yeah.
Many things.
Okay. Good things, bad things.
I mean, anyone that pulls a gun on Skeeter is a friend of mine.
That's true.
Well, sounds like I'm making friends by. I don't think my therapist will like the fact that that is affirming a.
Probably not. That might not be the goal. But yeah, nobody likes Skeeter.
So
so-
I should keep pulling guns on Skeeter. is what I'm
No.
hearing.
No,
I mean-
no. Sorry, don't listen to me. I'm full of bad ideas.
Just don't pull guns on other people.
Just Skeeters?
Don't
they just-
try to.
I don't think
But-
I ever really tried to. It's just I was following the butterflies, and then they said something, and then next thing I know, guns in the hand.
What? Butterflies talk. What do they say?
The butterflies even hate the Skeeters.
Oh, the butterflies hadn't said anything. It was something the Skeeter said that just set me off, and I can't for the life of me remember what exactly it was.
Okay.
But I was just.
It's
grabbed
okay.
the
You don't need to
gun and-
remember because then you might get mad again, right?
I don't know. It's possible.
Maggie wouldn't like that.
Well, I wouldn't get mad here. I'd go back and pull a gun on Skeeter again. I wouldn't do that here.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
I have
Oh.
best idea though. Chris should go with us to the radio tower.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool. Yeah. You wanna go? You wanna? Have you been to the radio tower yet?
There's a radio tower?
There's a radio tower. It's a full moon, and on the full moon, we do things at the radio tower, and it's so cool.
Is Chris cool enough to go with us to the radio tower?
If Chris, are we friends?
I would like to, I guess, believe so, given the fact that you had there's something wrong with my house that you need to fix every week. So
I'm not for anything. Then yes, Chris is cool to be enough to go with us because he's my friend.
Initiation. And she'll pour a pickle shot of moonshine and hand it over.
did you drug
Yep.
this?
Who do you think I am?
I literally just saw her
Person-
drink some. Like 2
Okay,
seconds
as long as somebody can vouch for it. Just a person that is handing me an open container of liquid. I have no idea where that's been.
It's called trust, friend. So you drink this, and then you're cool enough to go to the radio tower. Here, I'll take one
Shrugs.
too.
Shrugs, clinks glasses with you,
Cheers.
downs it. Oh, this is pickle flavored.
Yes.
Don't you usually mix it with something?
No.
Not here.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Mix things.
Yeah, you mix drinks.
Wait, I read about it in an old magazine.
There's a
Wait,
bunch.
are
yeah,
you
there's a-
from out? You're from outside of this place, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God, I have so many questions.
Well, we have plenty of time, it sounds like, on the walk over or whatever you need to answer. I might not. No, I've got a pretty good memory. Yeah, I could probably answer maybe some things. Possibly.
Okay.
This is fun. I'm having fun. This is great.
This is probably going to be a while, and Joe will just lean at the bar stool that's like closest to the wall in the alcove and like pull up her guitar and just kind of like make background music happen. It's just like listening to the conversation.
As this is happening, and as Ivy's like, this is fun, this is great. You see over Chris's shoulder at the pool table, you see Larry being like,
To who?
Put
Come
the
here.
camera on.
come here.
What? Get up. What?
Oh shit. I met Ivy.
Oh my God. Ivy.
What?
You're wanted.
By who? Oh, Larry. Cool. Okay. I'll be right back. Don't. Well, you can move, but just don't go, don't leave the bar, please. Bye. Runs, skips over to Larry. What did I do?
He's in there. He's finished both of his drinks, has now like set him off to the side and is in the middle of like shooting pool, really like loosening up. And he's like, okay, quick, before everybody shows up, because I think the Volduas are out of town, right? I don't think they get back till tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. And then Valerie, I don't think gets off of her shift until like 5 minutes from now.
Looks at data pad.
Maybe.
Sure. I don't remember my own schedule, let alone other people's schedule. So
I don't know. What really matters is that Ella's going to be here in a minute. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, we've been hanging out. We've been hanging out for a minute, and I feel like I'm catching some vibes from Ella. And I'm kind of like catching some feelings. And like y'all hang out all the time. So I was just wondering if you had some like tips on maybe how I can like get in there and like to make it obvious that like I'm feeling the things and I'm catching what she's laying down, possibly.
Oh boy. Okay. That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. That's great. I have no idea. I gotta go by, and then quickly leaves.
The fuck? I'm just like shit, and I'll just kind of like start pacing.
Fuck.
What did he want?
He likes Ella.
Oh, shit. Do you want me to fuck with him?
Ooh, yes.
No. He doesn't know I like Ella, but he thinks that Ella likes him, and
We should tell him that you like Ella.
Yeah.
but that would be awkward.
You want me to
But-
do it?
But it
I
would
mean-
then solve the problem of you feeling awkward about it. If somebody else does it,
But that's
I could just do that. I'll do that. Like
No.
Chris
it's okay,
just
it's
turns around and walks
okay.
over.
Oh, yes. This is good.
It's like,
This
oh,
is
hey
good.
man, what's up?
I like
Hi,
walk over and be like, it's not say anything. No, it's fine.
Hold on. You said you didn't want to do it. I'm gonna do it. Just because she would love to help you with this whole Ella situation.
Oh, cool.
Except-
Okay. Oh,
If she was going to do that, she'd be disingenuous in her own feelings. So yes, I know.
it's like howl bark. I've heard him say.
Mid sentence, Chris looks over off into nowhere and goes, I can't tell that, Matt. That's rude. And then looks back at Larry and goes, so
Hyperventilating off.
Oh fuck! Wait.
yes.
Oh shit, Ivy.
Yeah.
Why did you tell me?
I didn't want to have a
'Cause-
confrontation.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I had no fucking clue.
Sorry. Now you know.
Oh,
Now
okay.
it's- Right?
Yeah. You
Okay.
look. I'm so sorry. Did not realize that was how you felt. I'll just
Why do you
just
think
like-
I go there all the time?
To be fair,
because she's got a lot of work.
Why do you think I
Are-
make up more work for her?
are either of you Holly? Is that the word? You could do that thing.
I don't.
That's not dialogue though. That's a whole different conversation y'all need to have. Anyway, I'm just here to do that. Messenger. Okay, bye. I have to go follow Butterfly. Just wanders off
Fuck, you
into
find
others.
this guy.
He's from the big city, and he's visiting for a little bit up in the big old abandoned house that I keep going over to help fix stuff that's not. that
See,
needs
that's why
upgrade.
I didn't know. You go everywhere and fix stuff for seemingly free. How do you make money? I had no clue. Oh god.
That's not important. That's not important how I make money. Honestly, it's fine.
Okay.
I do hand you
Yeah.
cred sticks, right? Pops back over. I do hand you cred sticks when you come over to do the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the most non-committal yes. I'm gonna
Um,
need you to be more specific. What am I paying you?
I have been paid for my services at your house and fixing things. Yes.
Does your
And-
data pad have numbers?
Yes. Hold on. Finds like one email.
Looks at
Shows
it. Okay, cool.
It's like very low price. It's like 50% off
She
discount.
rewired your house, dude. You paid her 50 creds.
That was the invoice that she sent.
You only charged him 50 creds.
I didn't know how much money he had, and I didn't want him to feel bad if he was broken. And
He's a fucking ziggurat exec.
I don't know what that means.
Money, man, money. Sorry.
You're not wrong.
I don't know if that's it's not wrong, but
you're
I
not
feel bad
wrong.
talking about you in front of your own face. You know, I don't know. You know, yeah.
Trust me, if you could hear what the voices say, you wouldn't feel half as bad.
Good.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
good.
he
It's a good
fun?
thing.
Isn't he great? He's fun.
I don't know that great is the right word for this. I'm
Fun. You're
It's a pleasure
interesting.
to meet you, Larry. I need to go. The butterfly is hanging out with Dylan, so I got to go see what the butterfly wants.
Okay. I'm sorry that this was awkward. I wasn't. That was
No. Totally fine. Totally fine. Like you have things with Ella. You do or do not have to think about the thing that Chris said. I'm gonna definitely not probably think about that a lot. I do a lot of research, and it's totally gonna be fine. But you know, just let me know how it all goes. You know, either way, happy for you.
okay. Cool. I should probably charge people more. Probably. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, I kind of technically run my own like business. I mean, granted, I've taken it over from my mom, but like I know a thing about books and like pricing. Let's just get together and I'll help you fix your price sheet. This is a wreck.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Anyway.
I need another drink.
Yeah, go. Just I'm gonna practice.
Can I have an apple pie moonshine shot, please?
Maggie's like 2 in 1 night. Okay. Here you go, sweetie.
Chugs. Pays for it.
She gives you this very knowing look of like something's wrong. And it's like,
I don't like
not my problem.
confrontation.
Oh, you're gonna tell me anyway. Okay. Cool.
No, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say is I don't like confrontation. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. You know.
You can go. That's fine. You didn't want to be here. It's fine. It's a cricket bad. Fuck. Bye. And then she walks away.
Alrighty. What else would y'all like to do with your bit of free time here before leaving Maggie's?
I'm gonna try forging everyone to get 25% off. At the first and second farmers market from the one I got.
Hillary's not gonna remember, you know.
Nope.
Yeah. Go ahead. Are you trying to make it for more times or like more of a discount?
I'm just gonna make so everyone here gets it.
I love it.
So I'm gonna give like each of them their own napkin with his handwriting if I can do it well enough.
Absolutely.
So here's my forgery. 18.
Nice. Yeah, that's plenty for a napkin promise. You're able to just kind of like copy, even like spill a little moonshine on a couple of them to make them look real authentic and a little smudged in places that you're like, oh, that's not quite right. Okay.
I have a question. Won't he know that he only wrote one?
Did you see how many drinks he's had tonight?
No, because I just got here and I've only seen 2.
Okay. 2 is more than he can usually handle. Then he usually does a little bit more than that. You'll be fine. If you don't, then it doesn't work.
Also, we don't all have to go on the same day. We can go on different days, and then we can just say, oh, there was multiple times you were drunk at Maggie's and had to write us IOUs.
This feels really mean though.
He asked me to film him shooting pool.
Dylan's too nice.
She's
She should
clearly
have charged more
forgotten about.
anyway.
Already, he's over there doing the pool thing and clearly forgot to ask you to come over.
Oh my God.
Are we shooting things?
Not that type of shooting.
No.
Video camera shooting with a camera.
Oh, filming. Well, I know the
Filming,
thing, but,
yes.
like recording. Yeah.
Do you play pool, Chris?
Not very well. Not my type of shooting.
It's a lot of
Again.
shooting happening here. Shooting darts.
Oh, we could do darts.
Shooting shots.
Big country shooter arcade game.
Yeah, I don't really do much.
Do you want to try?
Sure.
I mean,
was
you
told
don't have to.
Well, it would be a thing to do. And I was told to do things. So I will do
And we have
things.
like an hour or so before we have to leave for the radio tower, so we have time.
Then let's do things.
Maybe you'll win.
I think doing the thing will be more important than whether or not I win.
That's a good
Wow.
attitude.
You said that, and like you could just hear Dr. Chop's voice in your head as the voice saying the same thing.
It's entirely what is going on in his brain space right now. Of I need to interface.
What game you going for? You're going for darts? You're going for pool? You're going for arcade stuff?
Joe offered pool, correct?
Mhm.
Then probably pool. Whatever Joe offered.
Alrighty. Yeah, y'all step up. Who's solids? Who's stripes?
Are we in the competition?
Nah, there's a lot, unless you want to be, but there's a lot. You want to be?
I want to hold on. Let me look at my stats before I do something.
Which stat is pool shooting?
I'm
which
gonna probably say it's gonna be along the line of athletics because it's kind of like similar as like throwing things. Maybe
Good at pool.
melee is more strength than like precision, really. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do more athletics. That's how you do a lot of precision throwing.
I think Joe's idea of fun tonight is to see if she wants to be like Chris's manager in this pool competition, and just see how far that takes us.
Ivy can show how to play like a few rounds if he's never played before. Because she's pretty good at athletics, actually.
Cool. Alrighty. So yeah, so we'll say we've got Joe kind of being a manager doing some social in here. We'll have the first little practice be an Ivy v Chris. You know, y'all are just kind of playing together, teaching how it goes. So Ivy, let's set the standard here. Will you roll an athletics for me? Are you stripes or are you solids?
We'll find out. I got a 20.
All right, I'll roll and see which one you sunk, because a 20 definitely sinks one. Where are my dice? Found them.
They're gone. Nothing can kill us now.
They're still digital. But with that, I'm going to give you cursed die. And by cursed, I mean cursed for you, because it always rolls high. All right, so that's an even. So we're gonna say your stripes.
Fantastic.
You get 2 of them. Chakunk, off the sides and into the middle pockets.
So you see, you hit the white ball, and the white ball goes into the other balls. Now I got stripes into the thing, so you have to go for the not stripes.
So solids.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I need to hit the white ball.
To hit the solids to get them into the pocket.
Solid balls to get them into one of the 6 pockets.
Yes.
I want to do that before you can. Do I keep playing if I get one in?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I get to go again, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess if you got 2, yeah, you've got one more.
I forgot. I was so focused on helping you learn that I forgot that the rules. So thanks for reminding me. Look at you learning faster than me already. Ooh, that's 11.
Yeah, you missed that one. It hits just right on the corner and does that little and goes back into the middle of the board. So you watch this, Chris, and then you're attempting here. If you'll do
I'm
an
gonna
athletics.
take the thing. Look at the chalk thing helpful. Is this little square cube thing do anything?
Oh yeah. If you put it on top of the thing at the tip of the pool stick, then you can
sets it on top of there.
And then you twist it to get the chalk on top of the thing. I go and show.
So he'll do so and then take a stab at it. An 18 on an athletics check.
Yeah, you take a stab at it, and there's like this moment that you kind of have this very intense focus, and it's like you can, when you play like a pool game on like a mobile game, and it like you can move it around and it shows you the trajectory of the ball depending on where you hit it. That kind of happens in your view for a second as you just like know where to hit it and don't right into the corner.
See, you're a natural. That's awesome. That was fantastic. You get to go again.
Okay. I did the thing well. 22.
Yeah, you get I gotta see how many of each. 8 of each, I think, right?
Yes, in traditional 8-ball.
So yeah, you get 2 more. Like there's still a big kind of bunch in the middle, and so you hit in and get to that cover up, or not that it covers up. This isn't like washers, but goes into the same middle pockets. And almost like the identical kind of like hit and everything as Ivy did her first hit. But
Joe stares at this and immediately turns around and goes, "Who do I talk to about signing up for this competition?"
Larry's watching wide-eyed. He's like, "It's full. It's full. Off.
No, it's not.
Man. It's
no,
full.
it's not. No, it's not. Maggie."
You're doing that was a fantastic hit, Chris. That was fantastic. That was awesome.
Okay, cool. A 1.
You go again and you sink the 8-ball, which is a solid. Unfortunately, you didn't know you weren't supposed to do that.
Well, yeah. No, I sink the solid.
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you the black one is the last one that needs to go in. So the white and the black don't go in the pocket.
But wait, okay, so
that's my bad. That's my bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But it's like the exception to the rule because it's technically it's technically not it's its own thing, which is why it's black, and it's like why the other one is white, because of the opposite ends of the spectrum, and the everything else within the spectrum is the ones that you have to sink in first before the end, the exterior ones. But you never want to put in the white one, you just want to put in the black one at the end.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
But because this is like your first time, we'll just put that back on, and it won't end the game, because technically this was to end the game, but we want to just keep playing. So I'm just going to put that back where it was, and then put the white ball back where it was. You're like, you want to go?
Okay.
You want to try again, or do you want me to go?
Technically, wouldn't it be your go then?
Yeah, I was just
I didn't sink anything.
Okay. I was just gonna let you have a second chance. So
You don't.
All right. Go ahead.
17.
17. Yeah, you get another one into the pocket, easy peasy. Little one kind of off from the side by itself.
24.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, you then like I feel like Ivy is one of those that like probably plays this game a lot because like Larry and Ella and like Valerie are over here playing, and is kind of that secretively very good at it, like knows the rule, like how to do it. And you again hit the white ball in between 2 stripes that just perfectly angle out and go into the corner pockets. Another 2 sunk. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 2 stripes left on the board.
I haven't done that in a while. Okay, cool.
Did you do that like minutes ago?
No, I only got 1. You did the 2.
But did you do
got the 2 on the break? Yeah.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. I thought I got
Mm-hmm.
1. Out of character, I thought. Boom. That's a 15.
Okay. You hit another one, and it gets like right up on the edge, just barely crawling over there. It's one of those like and then flips into the pocket. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just enough to get in. You have 1 left. And then the 8-ball, but 1 more straight.
I'm taking bets as this is happening
14.
with like a dealer percentage. So
Love
always
it.
gotta hustle.
14 on the next one, which I think would be a
It misses. Yeah, that one you hit, and it does one of those things where again it hits just right in the corner and then and rolls out.
I think Ivy hears Dylan taking bets and gets real nervous suddenly and is like, what are you doing, Scratch?
love it.
No bets, no bets.
Oh, this is
It's
one
your
of those
turn.
money games.
Not always.
money game.
Dylan always makes it a money game. I don't want it to be a money game.
Well, I mean, it's like the fights. You always put money on somebody.
But I don't get any of the money. Dylan does.
Then you should get a manager to help you get a cut. Like,
It's your turn.
14 as well.
Same, just hits kind of
No.
like it's right up to the edge. Like you're kind of blocking a hole. It's just right there, but doesn't plop
That's
in.
okay.
All right, Ivy.
19.
That other one was sitting just real pretty straight shot for you down the side, down the short side even. So you're able to just really easily tap it in there with the 8-ball in the opposite end of the table. That's what it's called. Roll one more time. See if you can make it in.
She'll like point to a pocket and say, 8-ball in that pocket. And then 19.
Do you have to call which pocket the 8-ball goes into?
Yes.
Okay.
You call the pocket. Will you roll for me, just for funsies, a d10?
Yes.
What is your luck stat?
5.
It unfortunately makes it. He goes towards that pocket. You hit the corner and it just does a beeline into the opposite corner and plops into the.
Dang it. I lost.
But you hit it in the pocket.
But I called that one and then went into that one. So
not
means I
only do you have
lost.
to hit this in last, you have to. So really, this whole game rides on one cue ball.
I mean, eventually, yeah.
Okay. I
That's
like
okay.
fighting.
Did you have fun?
I think so. There's way less shooting than I thought there was actually going to be.
Like gun shooting?
Is there another type of shooting?
There's like shooting darts, shooting shots, shooting pool.
Oh, I guess that is. Yeah. No, I should be more specific, I guess. But hey, everyone's okay. That's the result. Yeah, it was fun. Nobody died.
But that's definitely not the goal of pool is dying. Yeah. The goal is to stay alive.
Oh, I mean, there was bets placed on this, so.
Yeah. Speaking of Dylan, who were you England for, or were you taking bets on either side here?
Either side, basically.
Okay, you were keeping the house fee.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see. Roll luck for me as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna see if it was a good math split or not for you, or amount of money people were willing to put in.
I rolled a 2. My luck is 7.
All righty, so I'm gonna roll this twice instead. You run out of there with about 200 eddies, which is like pretty sweet for being like middle of nowhere, kind of random betting on the new guy haul.
I'm gonna give 100 to Ivy.
What's this for?
You
Oh,
roll.
for the pool thing. Right.
Yeah, that's what bets are for. That's what makes it fun. You can get more stuff, like your metal stuff.
I mean, I can get that for free from the city though. I just got a really cool cache like a couple of days ago.
Hey Ella, I heard Ivy fixed your stuff. And she just won pool.
Shit, look, you so many wins today.
Yep.
Is this why you never play with us? Because you're gonna kick our ass?
Yeah. No, maybe I don't know. Honestly, I just get nervous.
Valerie is standing next, and Valerie's pretty short. She's usually like right at like 5 foot maybe, and she has platform boots on, so like even with that, like she's tiny, and she is very much giving off like Wednesday Addams energy with her like short black bobbed haircut and like the very like similar probably vibes dress wise as Dylan, but somehow even more mute in colors, and she's like, ugh. And she just like rolls her eyes, like looks at like Ivy, looks at Ella, just grunts, walks over to the bar where like Maggie already has a drink for her. Look, this is Cyberpunk. 18-year-olds can drink at this point, and grabs it and like walks over to the pool table. And Ella's like, she's in a mood today, but anyway.
That's fine. Oh, have you met Chris?
Oh, hey Chris. How are the butterflies today?
Oh, they're very polite.
That's good. That's good.
They haven't asked me to go anywhere yet, which has been nice.
Every time I talk to you, I have more questions, and I like it.
Okay. Do you know how to get through that forest? You seem like an knowledgeable person.
Just like in general, or like a certain location?
Like the one on the bridge.
Forest on the bridge?
Yeah.
There isn't a forest on the bridge. We have a forest.
Well, yeah, obviously you have the forest, but there's also the forest on the bridge. We can come back to this later. It's not a huge deal. I just was curious.
You can show me later. We can show us later when maybe you can help then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I was teaching Chris Poole and yeah, so
nice.
Yeah, I was really good at that.
Oh, sorry. Congrats. Seems like it's been a eventful day. Joe, how are you doing?
Hiya. Doing good. Pickle shot?
No.
Right.
Screw all y'all. And so like while she's like taking another one, she's like, Forest on the Bridge is like a really cool song name. And she's gonna like take a napkin and like start to like write something down.
Y'all are wild. Anyway,
I was just telling Dylan about the stuff that we found in the city, and she said that it was dangerous and crazy that we went. But I was telling her about the goo and how the goo could be a battery, and she's like, "Why'd you touch the goo?" I'm like, "I didn't touch the goo. I was wearing gloves." Right?
They did burn through the gloves, but she did take them off very quickly.
I'm fine. Look, see all my hands. All my fingers are still here.
She may not have an index fingerprint anymore, but that's fine. Who needs those anyway?
Yeah. I didn't use that finger for my data pad. I used my thumb.
Okay. Radiation is bad. You know radiation is bad.
We had like the suits and stuff. Granted, we had one suit split between the four of us, but
oh my god.
It was fine. We were cautious.
Fine. Okay.
Did you have
fine.
like Geiger counters?
I mean, I made one kind of.
It does go off at like electromagnetic stuff too, though, so I don't think it's very accurate, if I'm to be honest.
Well, at least you have a doctor. Yeah, I remember watching one of my engineers. Yeah, that was fun.
You are so interesting.
I don't know that I'm interesting.
There's a lot going on in your head that doesn't make it out of your mouth, and I wish I knew what it was. Anyway.
I don't.
I'm gonna go kick Larry's ass at pool. So
yes, and Ivy, you were telling me about that recipe you wanted to try for dinner on like Tuesday. I can't make it.
Is there like a roll to see if she picks up on what's going on?
You need a human perception. See if you're getting the vibe.
Is that our social? That's the wrong button. Sorry. Don't count that. Unless it was good, then you can have it, I guess.
No, land vehicle tech and human perception are not the same thing.
I'm trying
Not
to find
comparable.
it. I'm trying to find
I
it.
think it's under social, maybe.
Yes, that'd be under social.
Oh, there it is. Okay. 15.
I'll leave that up to you. What do you think of 15 really infers to you? Granted, like a basic success is 10 in this game, you know, so it's like we're not talking D&D standards here.
So she's like looking at Dylan like, dinner, what dinner? Oh, fuck. Yeah, dinner. Sure. Yep.
And it like makes it for like at least like a couple people. Like I don't like your fridge is like on the fritz all the time. Like, hey, you know what, Ella? You should try the recipe because like I heard it's bomb.
Right, Red. I don't know how to cook.
I'll help you.
I mean, yeah, that'd be fun. You could come over with like food.
Yeah, when was this?
Like Tuesday, I think the stuff was supposed to come in.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I plan on Tuesday. Usually close down the bar on Tuesday nights. Have a let's see if I can really close on the bar whenever I want to. No one drinks there. But yeah, it's fine.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, it's a date then. And she'll just walk off.
Oh, fuck.
Leaving you in that.
Oh God. What did you do?
It's a date then.
Ivy.
Ivy's got a date.
Ivy quickly walks outside.
You walk outside and, you know, you'll spend a little bit more time kind of drinking, hanging out, picking fun, maybe playing some more pool, before eventually it is time to head off to the radio tower, because at the exact time every full moon, usually when it's at its peak, you got about 30 minutes or so that there is uninterrupted actual broadcastability, which is very weird. It also is weird that it coincides with the same time that every single baby in the town starts crying and the dogs howl, but that's fine. Nothing to worry about there. So, and I'm not going to make you roll a thing, but who here would have a vehicle or access to one? Okay, Chris has a vehicle.
I assume Chris would.
You would have had to get here somehow. So yeah.
I can technically drive.
Okay, yeah. I mean, everyone can technically drive. It's when you have points in it, you can drive well enough to get the fuck away from shit. So yeah, you which maybe, I don't know, would Ivy be behind the wheel? Or are we trusting Chris, who sees forests on bridges to drive?
Yes. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it's up to you, Chris. Do you want to drive? It's your car. If you want to take your vehicle, we can take mine, but it's like a truck, and everybody has to be in this back of the truck.
No, we can take this one. This one I got from one of my nomad friends.
You have nomad friends too? That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, not super local. But they did make a deal with people to drop it off here, so I could use it. No, you can drive. I think don't know that it would make sense for me to drive. I have people drive for me.
Okay. Is anybody else better at driving than I am?
Oh, hell yeah. Tailgate. Joe's going to just jump in the back of the truck.
Yes.
I've got a modifier of 9. But
You are technically better than I am by 1.
okay.
Great.
I'll drive. I'm pushing all the buttons in the car.
Also, Ivy has had 2 shots, and we established doesn't drink very often.
Dylan said a lot more, but you know.
Oh no.
Again, it's Cyberpunk. Look, guys, let's just disclaimer. Don't drink and drive, and also don't give alcohol to minors. We're in a post-apocalyptic world where the rules are out the window here because everyone's trying to kill you. So we're not gonna put out there.
We all
as
know
Dylan
that
gets behind the wheel.
the flavored moonshine is not as strong as the original moonshine, right? That's how it works.
Apple pie moonshine definitely won't fuck you up.
No. It's too sweet.
I definitely do not remember that from my 24th birthday at all.
It's dangerous because it's moonshine that doesn't taste like liquor. It's great. It's horrible. I had a
good.
friend that
It
could
sucks.
make it
I hate
and
it.
would
I
just
love
like
it.
constantly gave me mason jars full of like apple pie moonshine. I'm like, how do you do this? And I'm like, can't feel my nose after one shot. It's
Like,
wild.
stop, but never stop.
Yeah. But anyway, y'all head out. And, it's a little bit of a drive. You kind of take your general way out of town, which just kind of hits the road, kind of in the like southeast part of town. And you drive up this pretty windy country road that's making its way up the mountain. And you can get a good bit of the way there before you have to stop and take it by foot. And so you're able to get to kind of like the old, like ranger station, state park kind of old parking lot area that maybe has like the welcome center and like the trailheads and those sort of things. And so you're able to pull in there, hop out of the car. Did everyone, I assume Joe has instrument, Ivy's got tech bag, Dylan's got all the recording gear. Like, is there anything else y'all would have brought to just have for this? Any extra moonshine, any like other recreational substances? Like, what's the vibe as you go up? Like, what is y'all's usual?
She will have her med tech bag, a flashlight, and an audio recorder with her. And her tech scanner, of course, because she never leaves home without that.
I always bring my grappling gun just in case. I also have like my lock picks. I bring like my media gear, which is like video camera, audio recorder, all that stuff. I also gear up just in case. So I have my light armor on and I bring my heavy pistols just in case.
Yeah. There's bears in them woods,
I do have light armor. I don't own any weapons though.
You need a gun?
Oh,
Check on.
I don't really know how to shoot one.
You can. Never a better time to learn.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, sure.
Yeah, just look under the seat. There should be still in there.
Looks under seat. Very gingerly picks up gun. Has level 0 in all of weapons.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Alrighty, so you all are grabbed your gear, and of course, look, I like running a lot of these scenarios like Blaze in the Dark, where everybody has the useful item slot, which at any point in time within reason you can be like, hey, would I have this? And I'll probably let you have it at least once. So if you don't think to say something, do that. I still love things for Blaze in the Dark. Great system, 10 out of 10. Anyway,
I will say Ivy is very good with her fists, though. She does know how to
you
brawl.
can
if need
wrestle
be.
a bear. It'll be fine.
Yeah, she doesn't need a gun. It's fine. She can just wrestle or punch a person, and it usually works. She doesn't do that often, but she knows how.
She could. Alrighty, so you'll kind of start your hike up, and it's pretty dark. You're in the trees, and we're I don't know what time is usually like the height of full moon. I'm thinking like middle of the night, right?
Usually.
Yeah, whatever. So post to midnight as y'all are heading up this trail, and it's still a pretty well maintained trail. Like it's not by any means like actively maintained, but it's been used enough, and a lot of people still kind of get up and hike. Y'all are privileged enough in this post-apocalyptic hellscape to live pretty normal lives, so people do sometimes just go hike for fun. They still get that luxury of just getting to like go out and about. So they're used enough. They've got the trail markers, plus y'all go up them once a month or so, and you're able to hike up, no problem. You've got your flashlights. And once you kind of get up to the crest of the mountain, there's a bit of a clearing as you've gotten a little bit over kind of the tree line. This is like probably the tallest section of this general area, and probably had some clearing out at one point in time when this tower was put up way back when. And so now you've entered this clearing that is very bright, because I mean, it is a large full moon. I mean, you can barely even see the stars in the sky. The moon is so bright that you don't even need your flashlights. Like, everything is enough moonlight that you are able to kind of see about as you look up at this large radio tower that just kind of like rockets up above you towards the darkness. And I'm going to leave it to y'all. What is your usual kind of system to tap into this and get some music broadcasting?
I will say that Ivy, who is an very anxious person, is constantly looking around with her infrared and UV vision.
Okay.
To make sure like nothing is sneaking up on them the entire time. Like, she's just like looking behind her back, looking around, making sure constantly.
Okay. Absolutely. You want to do just a perception check, just to let it kind of sit through the scene? Nice. Write that down. All righty. So, yeah, what is kind of y'all's process here? Does it involve having to like wire in, actually climb up? Do y'all, because they've probably got like little landings so far up in different areas, is that the thing? Like, what is your process here, I guess?
I feel like we could have like hooked it up once we got all the way to the top and like hooked it up directly to the satellite so that there's like a line that drapes down so we don't have to do it every time.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe has like the only cyberware she has is stuff to like record. It's like she has a recorder and then a level dampener. I don't know if that's exact. I mean, like, I know it's probably used in like different ways, but like she probably has like all that stuff to basically like be her own microphone, whatever, and stuff. And so yeah, she's just getting like set up wherever at the base that we like have our little spot. I would imagine it's like close to the tower though. Like,
yeah.
Still right there.
So go ahead for me, Ivy. Do a basic tech roll as you start to kind of plug into this and get it to the point that Joe can start broadcasting.
19.
Nice. Do we know how far it usually reaches, or do we just kind of like broadcast and like hope?
You just broadcast. You just know that by some random coincidence, you are actually able to see that this is transmitting a signal for about 20 minutes at full moon, every full moon. Never really receives anything that you've like known of so far. But so Ivy, with the 19, you are able to patch into this. Joe, you kind of start your process of getting all of your things plugged in. Dylan, what's your usual role in this? Are you recording things? Like,
yeah, so I'm probably during it, I'm sending out the different updates I have for the log and then sending up the episodes. Sometimes if it works long enough, I'll do a live update, which I'm hoping to do tonight. We'll see if it'll work or not. It just depends, but trying to get out as much of what I've worked on for the month as possible. That maybe someone or something can see and find a way. As much as Dylan loves her friends here, she just wants a way out. Like, and that's kind of her way of like maybe reaching something out there.
Yeah. So we'll say maybe there's like a little bit of a switcher kind of plug that y'all have made here that y'all are both able to plug into, so y'all can kind of like bop between music and news broadcasts and such. But Ivy, as you are getting plugged in, so y'all know y'all have, just a few minutes before it starts to you're able to broadcast. You've kind of like, you've got it down to a science. And Ivy, you are realizing that it's not connected. Somewhere in this cable up and down is goofed.
Fuck. Okay. It's not working.
Oh, what?
What can we do to
Something's
fix it?
wrong. I'm gonna try. I need to get up though.
Oh, here. Grappling gun.
Grappling gun to the top.
Right.
Slowly going
get
up.
about halfway and then like kind of like rest and kind of do it again until you do notice that there is a section that it looks like probably in like the last freeze some ice had kind of gotten on this and a piece of the metal had broken off and it snapped the cable that is feeding down. If you will roll another basic tech to
Pulls out
fix
wire
this.
cutters. Starts doing random bullshit. 25.
Nice. So yeah, you pull out your wire cutters, you start like repatching it together. Dylan, you're down at the bottom, kind of like watching and waiting, and you hear Ivy yell your name.
Is good? Is it good?
Ivy, you
Need
didn't
help?
yell her name.
Is what good?
You just talked to me.
No, I was busy cutting wires.
I'm instantly looking around then. I'm
May I
Okay,
also
yeah.
do the
Finish
same?
wrapping.
What's that, Finn?
I was like, could I also make a perception with low
Yeah.
light, infrared or UV?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cyber eyes.
Ivy, you're able while the stepping it was real quick patch. You know, you just had some extra cable patched together and you're able to your way back down.
While I'm still up there, can I use that perception check to like look around?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, did we all see that or hear the other
Yeah.
Ivy voice? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I also look?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I need to re-roll or is the 20 from before?
No, the 2020 is fine. So because it was 25. Yeah. So Joe, you're kind of like looking around, you got kind of like a little confused trying to like put the piece together because you're like in the process of tuning your guitar and you're like, huh, what's happening?
Yeah.
Where Dylan, you're looking around and like you're not seeing anything. And like I said, it's very bright. Granted, you get to the tree lines and it is dark. You can't really see through it. But it very clearly felt like the noise was coming from up, you know, like it definitely, you're trying to look and you're like, that doesn't make sense. What's going on? Where kind of at the same time, but it is all of your agents, or at least Ivy, Dylan, and Joe's ding with the notification that it is time, broadcasting is open. As that happens, Chris, you get this feeling that is like that just like cold chill that runs down your spine, like when you like nearly fall off of something and you catch yourself and you're just very uneasy and you can almost feel your cybernetics like zzz.
It's gonna be a good time. Do I see anything or do I just get the
Just get that weird feeling?
Ooh.
And it's like almost like, yeah, you feel the tingle and you can almost like hear this low kind of like hum, like white noise, but a little quieter as like, you know, kind of like when you almost like hear a feeling, you know, when you like watch someone, you can like hear the crunch, you know, it's kind of like that where it's like you almost hear it, but you don't quite. Is it the feeling? And you feel very uncomfortable. Look around and there's nothing really. You do kind of get, I'll say with that 18, this feeling that it is much stronger when you have your back turned from like the like south-ish direction, southeast-ish direction from you. It feels like almost a more impactful kind of like behind you.
So when I'm looking southeast, it is less that way.
Yeah. Because it's like that feeling is very much focused in on your back and kind of your cybernetics like feeling. And so it's almost like when a magnet, you know, like it's like your back is like magnetized that way kind of feeling. Like interesting.
Gonna walk a little closer.
Yeah, you kind of walk that direction a little bit, kind of like, you know, aimlessly, and it's getting to just kind of the forest. There's not anything that you can visually see. Or Ivy, as you're starting to come down on this grappling hook and looking around in that same direction in the forest, you start to see kind of like flashing light, not like flash, 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 but like through trees, like a little, psh, little, psh, little psh. You can see some light. Those on the ground haven't noticed this.
Have I ever seen that before?
You see a couple of them, like two
Chris-
here, two here, two here in the same general area.
Chris, maybe back away from the forest a little bit. Let's go back.
You
There's
land on the
lights.
ground with grappling hook.
There's lights in there. Let's step back away from the forest. I don't know what the lights are.
Are we like good to record or something, or
Can't hear you, Ben.
What? Sorry. Now is your chance. I don't know why you wouldn't, but lights, you say?
I saw like a couple lights, not like flashlights, but just like zooming around, and it's weird. I've never seen that before.
Oh, those lights.
Have you seen those lights before?
Maybe.
Okay, I don't.
Maybe not like my real life. Anyway, point is probably not a good thing given the cybernetics are doing the shake, which I'm excited about. But I don't know that's okay.
Are my like cybernetic eyes having any effect on this or no?
You're not seeing any like heat signatures really.
I'm
And
not
now
getting
that you're on the
same-
ground, you don't really see. Yeah, you're not getting that same buzzy feeling. But you're also, now that you're on the ground, you don't have the vantage point to see where those lights were as well. It's very clearly as you've landed, it's like, oh, there was a clearing a little bit lower, and from where you are, you can't see it.
I can't see them anymore, but they were there.
What direction?
My point.
Southeast.
I'm gonna try and stealth closer.
Okay, roll stealth for me.
It'll be fine. It'll be a great idea. What's the worst that can happen?
Smash
people
cut
have gone
to a
missing.
10. I was kind of hoping it was a 1, but that's fine. It's 10 still. But yeah, you're starting to kind of stealth your way, and you get to the clearing, and there is very clearly a like drop. Like it's walkable, but it's a pretty steep kind of drop on this end. And you kind of like grab hold of one of the tree branches and scoot your way down. And you're getting kind of lower and closer. And then out of the corner of your eye, you see a flashlight. You like turn and it's gone. And you walk a few more steps and you see another flashlight and you turn and it's gone. And you're starting to get this uneasy feeling like something is watching you as you're just in this darkness by yourself with something around. And then you see another flashlight in front of you, and it stays for a bit, and then another one, and then another one, and another one, as there's fireflies all over the forest. These big fireflies, like I'm talking like bigger than a wasp size fireflies, like definitely not normal by our standards, possibly normal after radiation and bullshit in the future, but large fireflies. And there's just like covering this section of the forest, and you can see them now as you're kind of walking. It's almost like you're disturbing them, and more are flying up, and there's just like flashes of light as they kind of fly all around you. And you get this kind of feeling of like calm, of like ease, like, oh, thank God, as you now see kind of these lights. And it is very like pretty, as you can see, the greens of the trees with each kind of flash, and it's very much like Tangled Lantern Festival moment of like, whoa.
I don't trust him.
Try to poke a little bit, like trying to see what they do. This
Yeah,
is
they kind of like,
amazing.
like kind of move around and dodge. I mean, they're a bug, they don't want to be touched. They're like, oh.
It's fireflies, guys. That's really cool.
I don't.
Oh,
Those are big. Those are big for fireflies. I don't know if those are fireflies.
y'all, we don't have enough time for this. We only have a small window to broadcast. If it's just
17 minutes and
bugs,
36 seconds left.
oh shit. And Joe's gonna get all set up. He's like, am I good?
Should be.
Dylan, come back here so you can set up yours.
Okay, I'm coming back in a second. Is this a new occurrence? Has this ever happened? Because I feel like Dylan's been in the forest a lot. This is somewhere she
forest
goes
like there's
frequently.
definitely fireflies. Like that's definitely a normal thing. And I would say, you know, they're any range of size from normal to a little abnormally large, especially if you get a little closer to radiated areas and weird you know, evolution has happened. This is definitely very early for them because I mean we are like end of winter about to hit spring. This is not usually the time they're out, but it has been a little abnormally warm. You know, it's making sense, but at the same time is a little weird. You know, it's like plausible but odd.
If I walk closer, does the vibration get more interesting?
Not really. It's just
Okay.
it feels like it's kind of like pulling you that way, you know, it just feels right, you know,
Well,
like
yeah,
for that
I mean,
direction, but
that
it
makes
doesn't get
sense.
any stronger. And like if you get up in the firefly kind of field, it's not hindered in any way. It seems like it's still pulling you that direction, like further
Through
southeast.
it. Okay.
Mhm. But Joe, are you gonna start broadcasting?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
what kind of music does Joe lean towards?
I mean, Joe just like has a guitar and sings at the moment currently. So very like folksy singer songwriter. And I bet she does like a little like beginning, like kind of like doesn't really talk a lot, is more like about the music, but it's just kind of like anybody who's listening, been working on a new thing. And there's actually, I remember this today. I think what she broadcast, if you guys have ever seen this guy, this video, I just found it. This video is 14 years old. So this is how long ago I first saw it. It's this guy, Trace Bundy, that does this cover of Sweet Child of Mine, where it's just him and his like acoustic guitar, but he has a looper. And so I think Joe has like a looper too. So he like builds like literally like he's like hitting the guitar, like drumming, and then doing like different like melodies with it. And so I think she's basically going to do like that. So yeah, I literally think it's like 6 lines, like 6 different like lines of music. Here, I'll put it in chat and whatnot. But yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Okay.
And
Yeah, roll performance for me.
Okay. Bye-bye. Let me see. Performance. I also have, so I have my
Also, while
audio.
this is happening, Ivy, roll a d10, just a straight d10.
I have my audio vox, so I think I get a +2 to my instrument for that. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Performance. Guitar. I'm doing my guitar, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did it roll it? Did I press it?
I heard the thing. Yeah, 20. So you start playing and you're feeling pretty good. The +2's added.
Oh, okay.
And you're starting to feel like you feel pretty good about this as you're kind of like going through, and you are very much more like, while everyone's kind of looking around, feeling weird, hearing things, like you're in your element. You're like, this is great. The moon is out. It's a pretty chilly, but warmer than it's been in a while evening. You know, you've got the breeze. Like you are fucking killing it. Dylan and Chris, do y'all start to head back and kind of join in the broadcast activities, or what's your vibe?
Gonna head back because I do want to get the stuff posted, but I'm gonna kind of just look at it and just kind of, there's like a sigh of like wanting it to be more, but it's not, and then she kind of drudges back up.
Ivy, did you go over to the fireflies, or are you up still by Joe?
If Chris does not, if they don't come back, she will go towards them to try to get them to come back.
Chris, are you dilly-dallying after Dylan's already left?
Yes, I think after Dylan leaves, Chris will ask the Fireflies, do you need to show me something?
Kind of like, I'm gonna just start bobbing around and floating. And you could swear that they all start to like pair off in 2 by 2 before eventually kind of starting to fade out and land for their, nightly hibernation through the day, getting ready for that.
That's when Ivy appears. It's like, hey, we should probably head back and not be out in the forest by ourselves.
It's just the forest.
There's things in the forest.
There's things everywhere.
There's things that can kill you in the forest.
People can kill you.
I did not need that image in my head. Oh, fuck. People can kill me. God damn it. No. Okay. Can we leave? Please?
Would it make you feel better?
Yes. What did the fireflies say anything to you? Like the butterflies do?
Nothing important. They did pair off at the end for their hibernation. Whether or not that means anything.
I don't either. Ella might, or her sister. They're good at nature-y stuff, maybe.
And we should ask.
Sure, we can ask tomorrow. They come. Some of the nomads come in tomorrow morning. You might get along with them. You said you like nomads, right? You have friends.
I have
that are
friends in nomads. Yes.
One of them's
Probably
kind of
get along
obnoxious, but two, and the other one might hate me. But the other, they're all cool. They're all good. Hate's a strong word.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll always pull a gun on them. So
don't pull a gun on them, please.
Y'all have this conversation walking up the hill. As you kind of get up to the top, Joe, you've had your slot. Dylan, you're wrapping up your spot with your news there. As then Ivy, Dylan, and Joe, your phones, your agents ding again as the recording time, the transmitting time is done, which at the exact same time, Chris, that weird feeling dissipates from your body and you feel normal again.
Chris's perception of normal or normal perception of normal?
Chris's perception of normal. Very much that.
You will hear as that stops and the ding happens and Chris goes, oh, well, that was unfulfilling.
What? The music?
No. The music was
the music.
No, he said
music.
no. I was asking a question.
My cyberware, or at least the Neuralink, was vibrating, and I was wondering why. Over the course of this transmitting window. Yeah.
Vibrating how? Because my cyberware wasn't
No.
doing anything.
I don't know exactly the details. It just was doing a little shiver. It wanted to go southeast.
Do I know what southeast?
The only thing you know of southeast before you like make it into the major cities, the closest thing southeast is that abandoned Militech facility that you would definitely know of because you have definitely creeped around in there before.
I mean, the only thing over there is an abandoned Militech facility. There's nothing else over there.
At that mention, Chris will go, oh, maybe it has something to do with this.
Maybe you can go check it out one day.
Do you want to go right now?
Does everybody want to go check out an abandoned Militech facility?
At night? At night?
Why not?
I mean, we came out here.
I will too. And I mean, Dylan's reaction may still be sure, but this is a facility where your brother was found dead a few years back.
Yeah. She just kind of like, sure, let's go to the death trap. It's a great idea.
Once the nomads get here, and then we have more people, and then everybody can be together in the daylight. Maybe, yeah. Be safer, maybe.
Just asking.
If Dylan's okay with it, I guess so.
Want to wait till daytime?
Probably smarter.
The butterflies agree. The butterflies are back.
I glance around for butterflies. Okay, cool.
Chris sees butterflies. Does anyone else? No.
I wanted to verify. Like, cool, butterflies aren't real. Got it. Don't say that out loud, just in my head.
As you chat about butterflies, planning to hit a creepy abandoned militech facility that definitely no one's died in, you gather up your stuff and walk back down the trail. Pretty uneventful. It's a little dark. I think everyone's still a little on edge, except for Jo. Jo's feeling great. She was having a great time. There's still that residual weird feeling, Chris, that kind of runs down your back. Dylan and Ivy, you both kind of have that like weird someone's watching feeling every once in a while. It's just like the eeriness of the night kind of sets in, and you make it back to the truck, which looks, as you left it, except as you're getting in, Jo, we'll say you seem like a shotgun kind of gal. You get in and shut the door and realize the passenger door was wide open when y'all came back down to the truck. And you don't remember leaving it wide open.
Can I search around, just like see if I see anything?
Yeah. I mean, for ease sake, especially you, this not being your vehicle, you kind of look around and nothing looks out of place. There are some things on the dash that haven't moved. The stashed guns haven't moved, and y'all are driving off at this point. If you wish to bring this up to Chris as we meet next, maybe so. But you, who was driving? Dylan was driving, I believe, back out of the spot, turn and go down the road. And as you all drive off feeling a little odd, we're going to have a little ending scene of something that is just a nice little bit for the audience, because our players, clueless, make their way down the road, and we see as the tail lights kind of round the corner and fade from view, the camera sees a little bit of movement as a shadowy figure falls from the tree tops and lands on the ground, this kind of clearing right on the edge of the side or the parking lot, with like nearly silent crunch of leaves. The camera, as we all get to view this story in, starts to pan up as on a tall, slender, nondescript humanoid figure, seemingly all in black in the darkness. And the figure begins to walk forward in a very unhumanly kind of quick, jerky way, very similar to like watching someone walk in a strobe light, where it's like you almost catch just in between frames. It stands as it walks out into the street and watches as y'all's tail lights finally round a corner out of view before it turns back, revealing not a human face, but a featureless, smooth, convex plating where a face should be. And then in the center, two glowing bluish white lights begin to grow in brightness where the eyes should be before it walks disjointedly into the fog that is making its way up the mountain. And that is where we wrap for today's installment of Hollow Secrets.
Spooky.
This is Cyberpunk, guys. I guessed it. But everybody, they lived. No combat yet.
This time.
Didn't have to wrestle a bear, but everybody, as we are for YouTube and for people watching it live, we'll be back next Friday at the same happy time, same happy place. And then next week for podcast, I don't know the release schedule. I think weekly or so.
We are going to be dropping them Wednesdays, same times as Weird Web episodes.
There you go. St. Francis Weird Web. So catch that over there. But I guess with that, I'm just going to smile and wave. Everybody have a good night.